Let's try that again, shall we? Alrighty, who wants to talk about the gays? Because that's what's been on my mind. I won't actually start with that issue. I mean, obviously we had something happen in rugby league this week, which was history making, and we will remember for an incredibly long time. But today is about a different cause, and I'm starting the stream a little bit earlier to talk about both of those things. This is going to be a fun day. This is going to be quite a fun day of rugby league football, I feel. Hello, everybody. How are you going? This is obviously your Thursday night live stream, but it's more special than just that. Firstly, it's always special when we get to see the South Sydney Rabbitohs play, because it's a hate watch for me. But today, I think is probably going to be the first time in my life where that's not the case. The South Sydney Rabbitohs have done something brilliant for today. Obviously, we all know the tragic news about Jai Arrow, his diagnosis of motor neuron disease. We've seen it happen with athletes. It can really get to anybody, and post-diagnosis average life expectancy is only 2 to 3 years. So to see them actioning this as quickly as they have is brilliant. They've managed to get all of their sponsors on board to do a white-out jersey for today, which looks very, very nice. I'm a bit worried that after 20 minutes it's going to be more of a brown and green than a white, but still, it's a brilliant initiative, and it's going to look very, very cool out there on the field for Jai Arrow. Wait, are you not hate watching Holy Pig? I don't think it's appropriate. I know that this is a game of rugby league. It's a game of the NRL round. The NRL season. But today is fundamentally about so much more than that. I would feel wrong getting up and about of like, oh yeah, boo South Sydney, when there's a lot more that today's about, and there's a lot more that they're playing for. So, yeah, I don't know if I'm at the point of going for them, but we'll see how we go. It's brilliant. And I know, like, obviously, doing this stuff is, at least in my mind, a little bit of an expectation. It's a bit of a bare minimum. Bare minimum is not fair. Doing something is doing a bare minimum. But they have gone above and beyond that. They didn't need to play in a special jersey today. They could have simply said, oh, we're having Jai Arrow on the team sheet. And I think a lot of people would have given them praise for that. But instead, they've taken the difficult path of going so much more. And I think that that's very, very impressive. So I want to give them credit for that. The other thing, so obviously, yes, we had huge news the other night. I think it was Monday night. I don't know if I mentioned this. I think I did in the comment section of the video that I made about Kane Evans. But I was literally watching a movie with some friends. I got back to my room at 1 a.m, and I was just on my phone. I was about to go to bed. Had a look at Instagram, as I think most people do, and I see the interview with Kane Evans and James Bracey. I don't know why the hell they posted it at like midnight, but they did. And I sat here. Oh, thank you, the Kiwi Storm, for following. I sat here and I was like, I need to do something about this. I don't know if this is the case for everyone. In fact, I know it's certainly not the case for everyone. It would be the case for some others, though. I have always been progressive in my mindset, but I don't even think this is particularly a progressive thing. Love is love. And we see 1.5% of Australians are estimated to be gay. A further 1.7% are estimated to be bisexual. Personally, I think it's actually a lot higher than that, but those are the statistics that are available. And so to see the first player in 3 decades come out since Ian Roberts is very special. And I was talking to my father, who sometimes we get in the live streams as well, who obviously remembers Ian Roberts coming out. I don't. It's not in my lifetime. Everyone sort of knew that Ian Roberts was probably gay. It was a bit of a like, oh, good for him, but like, we were aware. Kane Evans came out of absolutely nowhere. That was different. So I think that's what makes it pretty special. No one saw it coming, even when the interview was happening. Hang on, that's not a good camera adjustment, is it? Even when the interview was happening, I had no inclination until he said it. So it was unreal. And I have a real flaw in my character, which is maybe the worst thing for a content creator to have, especially one that's outspoken on issues. But I cannot go away from a debate. I will keep going. Every time I see someone say something that I think is harmful or is a harmful opinion, I would go at them, but I will go at their ideas for sure. So I've really spent most of this week doing that. Even to 2 minutes ago, in the comment section of his Roosters post on Instagram, it was probably one of the easiest debates I've had in ages. This objective bigot who didn't even know the difference between homosexuality and transsexuality. But it's a learning experience, isn't it, for our community? So it's very good to see. And I hope and believe, as I said in my video, that this will be something that we see more of in years to come. Not necessarily. I'm not saying it's a good thing for people to be homosexual, but it's it's not a bad thing either. It's a thing, but it is a very good thing for them to be able to come out as homosexual, and that is a key distinction that I would like to make. So yeah. Anyway, that's sort of my thoughts. I just thought I'd hop in here and have a bit of a chat with you guys about it. So yeah. Tajfir says, how do you explain the Broncos' shocking start to the year? It's not that much worse than their start last year. We are desensitized as a rugby league fan base to how difficult it is to go back to back. Until 2018 and 2019, no one had in the salary cap era gone back to back. And obviously then we got those two. We had one Storm Premiership and then 4 Panthers, right? So that's made us, that generationally incredible team, all-time team, has made us think that it's actually easier to do than what the reality says. Back before 2018, or really actually 2019, the narrative was you can't climb the mountain twice. The intensity of wanting to win a premiership is more powerful than the intensity to want to keep your premiership. So that's probably why. Pete, you are saying it's lagging. Is anyone else experiencing it? Noah says no. So I think it might be a Pete issue or a YouTube specific issue. Again, not on my side. Thank you for letting me know, but maybe try refreshing the page. Hey, Leaguie, what's your favorite NRL stadium? I think Suncorp's probably still the best stadium. I love it. I don't know if maybe it's because when I'm there, it's Magic Round, and I love Magic Round, but it's that or Allianz, I think, clearly. Do you think Broncos could get top 8? 100%, yes. I don't know if I would tip them to, and certainly winning today is an important one if they're going to. But no, they can for sure. They can for sure. Kiwi Storm said, it's nice to hear that Kane had the courage to come out. Some people struggle to do that because of their fame. So it's really courageous of him. Yeah, I said in my video, right? The amounts of homophobia that I have been subjected
Leaguie,
to.
Someone just redeemed a thing.
Someone redeemed a thing.
Cat and Ellerberg just redeemed.
That's not great timing.
Background color. Summer's youngest dragon rose and dat is oak.
I think, that means some boys wear pink and that's okay. You know what? The timing is actually all right with that. Yeah, I'm a heterosexual. As difficult as it might be to believe, I know that certainly maybe the issues I stand up for might indicate otherwise. I know that there's a lot of theories about it, but no, I am heterosexual. But even I have been subject to an outrageous amount of homophobic abuse in DMs, as I said in my video, from other creators, and I'm not going to say who, but respected members of the rugby league community. So that's the climate that he's coming out into. It's not just like so many people have said, why should we care? Why is this news? Why do I care what he does behind closed doors? Because of the fact that it has to happen behind closed doors. You don't need to be heterosexual behind closed doors. You don't need to, hide the fact that you have a girlfriend or a wife or whatever, right? That you love someone of the opposite gender. But they do a lot of the time. For Kane Evans, to the point of nearly killing himself or trying to kill himself on multiple occasions. That's the difference. That's why it matters. And yeah, in an ideal world, we won't care and it won't be news. But we're not in that ideal world yet. We'll get there, I hope, in our lifetimes. But we're not there yet. So that's why it matters. That's why it matters. Seafanter says, wait, you're straight, but we kissed when we met in person. You're telling me that meant nothing? Look, just because I'm straight doesn't mean I can't kiss the homies, all right? That's something I want to make abundantly clear. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with a little bit of affectionate... displays of affection between the homies. Kissing the homies goodnight is not an issue. Reckon Melbourne will make finals? Yes. I have always been on that train I have never said that Melbourne won't make the finals, and I'm feeling better and better as every week goes by about that prediction and about that stance. So we're not actually that far away from kickoff, you know. Probably in a few minutes I'll get into the teams. It's the stream seems to be lagging for some people and not lagging for others. So that makes me know that it's not me, it's YouTube. I can't do anything about that. I am very sorry. I would love to be able to fix the problem, but if it's not lagging for others, then I know it's not an issue with the feed I'm sending to YouTube. So, yeah. Do you have a little bit of Monica in your life and a little bit of Erica by your side? No, but I would love a little bit of Rita, Tina, Sandra, Mary, Jessica. Oh no, that's all of them. Yeah, it wouldn't be bad. Look, I wouldn't complain. I would not complain. Alex says, in light of this truce, I will also concede that Robbo pitching in for Kane Evans was a mad lad move, and I would be incredibly proud as well if my club did that. Yeah, it's nice to see both sides of the Anzac Parade divide getting up and about this week. Look, it's you talk about, say to non-sports fans, right? I've got friends that are non-sports fans, and they can't really understand why we care so much about the outcome of 19 guys or 17 guys playing out there on the field that we've often never met, we often will never meet, and who don't know about us, right? And we're doing it for a job. Why would that matter to us? And logically speaking, yeah, sure, I can kind of understand that. I know others who think that functionally every sporting team is the same. It doesn't matter if you go for East, South, West, St. George, Cronulla, they're all rugby league teams. They don't all, have those different characteristics. It's moments like this that I think show that that's not true, that they are individual, that they do have their stances. And you see it more in, say, European soccer, where clubs have like very explicit political affiliations as well. We don't have that here, and I think that's a good thing. But I am proud as a Roosters member, as someone who annually contributes money to the club, that is what my money is going towards. That is what my money is supporting. Something that is evidently more than just a rugby league club, but is a family and an organization that stands for things and takes care of its people beyond simply the 80 minutes of rugby league that we see out there on the field. So I'm incredibly proud to be a member of that club. I really am. ARW says, to be fair, no one cared that he's gay. It's the fact that maybe him speaking up like that can give someone else going through self-hurt, struggles, and addiction, and they can see there's a better solution and people help. That's the positive outcome of it. Yeah, for sure. The reason why it's relevant that he's gay is because it just makes it more applicable to someone struggling with that those issues because of homosexuality, which is obviously going to be a lot of people. But it's been incredible how many people have, I think quite performatively, got all pressed about having to hear about it, having to hear about something that happens behind closed doors, when the thing that will happen as a result of it is literally lives saved. I believe that. Anyway, I believe several. And even if you don't want to go to the extent of lives saved, let's say lives improved. Let's say people being able to be themselves. That will happen. You won't be able to point to the examples, but they'll be out there. Factually, as a result of this interview, of this, action being taken. So, Billy bunch of numbers on Instagram with a car profile picture being pressed about hearing about that. That's the price that I think society is pretty happy to pay. So, I don't care too much about that. Tiger Walker's just giving Oasis lyrics, and I love that. That's a way to keep me distracted. Leaguie, is the mid-season marks video coming out next week? I'm certainly trying to. I need to redo everything, unfortunately. For it, I made so many graphics. I spent, honestly, about 7 or 8 hours solidly of work making those graphics. And now I'll be able to salvage some parts, but I'm going to have to change a lot of different things. Ladder positions will change. Teams' records will change. I had this graph showing all of the... each game that each team had played and the result of that game. I now need to reshape that. It's a whole big thing. But I will do my best to get it out next week. I've just finished my exams. Literally today, I had my final exam of this semester. One more semester for me to go here at uni, so I'll have more time on my hands. and I'll do my best to do that. But as well, there's a much bigger project that I'm going to be working on in the background. It's of a similar vein to my changing room camera video, to my France Rugby League video on the Nazi occupation, and to some extent as well my Ukraine video. I think I put a little bit less effort in that one, but it was still very good. It's that serious kind of topic, and I'm very excited about it, but it's going to take me a lot of time. So there might be a period of, you know, not uploading heaps constantly. I'm going to try to, but know that I'm going to be working every single day. It's going to be worth it, trust me. It's going to be very cool. 2026 Storm Prem, hot take or no? Very hot take. Very, very hot take. Make the finals first, and then we'll see. To be honest, I reckon tipping anyone except Penrith to win the premiership is a hot take, but Storm are particularly hot. I would have Warriors before Storm. I'd have Roosters before Storm. I would then go into the... I think I'd have Dolphins before Storm. Then I'm thinking like Manly, Newcastle, Storm are on a bit of a level below that, maybe. I hope I'm not forgetting anyone. When won't you be streaming? Tomorrow for the Roosters game, I'm actually not streaming. I'm on the way up to Sydney throughout that game. Sunday's game at Leaguie, I have not announced yet. I might be streaming it. I might be at the game, though. I haven't found out yet, so that's why I haven't announced it. Anyway, we are not too far away from kickoff, so how about we get into the teams? I need to also get my broadcast of the game up without showing you guys, because that's illegal, as we know. Alrighty. So, Rabbitohs favoured to win this one due to the sheer number of players that the Brisbane Broncos have out. Stags and Haas and Walsh all through Origin. Patrick Carrigan would also be out through Origin if he was match fit. But Asamu also not in the team. Jordan Ricky, though, a very important inclusion, coming back in, bringing some quality. For South Sydney, obviously no Cameron Murray. Campbell Graham injured. Matt Duffy injured. Sean Kepi injured. I'm devastated to not be commentating the cappuccino, but it is what it is. I do probably think South Sydney will win this one, and I did tip them to win this one. So we'll see how they go. Obviously, it's in Sydney as well, which is not an insignificant factor. Looking through the sides, the backs are named as they were earlier this week. Tallis Duncan in at the centers. We've seen him play that role there before. Another thing that the Roosters and the Rabbitohs have in common this week is naming back rowers in the centers. Shout out Egan Butcher. But he is going to have... a bit of a bath tonight, I reckon, if he's coming up against my Dutch King, Antonio Verhoeven, because I'm just saying, it's World Cup time. It's football World Cup time. The Netherlands, we get up and about this time of year, so it's going to be exciting to see him in that role. Obviously, Adam Reynolds coming up against his former club as well. It's been a few years now, but it's always nice to see. Into the forwards, Willison moves to prop with Josh Rogers, who's normally a half, coming in to start in that lock role, so they'll get a bit of ball playing through him. It's going to be a different style, given that Hubner is more of your just solid through-the-middle style forward. Can play an edge, though, quite effectively. Like seeing Brandon Smith starting. I know we've seen a little bit of it lately, but always nice to see. He's a very good player at his best. The big news is Ezra Mann being dropped to the interchange bench. It's huge. A premiership winning 5'8", with Tom Duffy being the player that's preferred. And while Mann's obviously a better player, Duffy's form has been heaps better, I reckon, than Ezra's this season. He's an up-and-down sort of style guy, but has not been able to deliver his best this year, unfortunately. Oblix Alpha, another Dutch King, shout out to him. Other than that, Philip Coates coming onto the bench is the only other change. Brother of Xavier, of course. When Xavier Coates did his Achilles for the second time last week, I said to my mate who follows rugby league very closely, Coates has done his Achilles again. And his question genuinely was, Xavier or Philip? So I think that's a shout out to Philip Coates to show just how good he's been going since he made his debut. That's always very cool. Anyway, we'll get back to the green background, and we're set to get started. Ezra was benched last week, though. No, yeah, it's the continuation of that, but it is big news. It is always big news. I thought you backed the Dutch B team, Curaçao, but okay. No, I don't back Curaçao over the Netherlands. Absolutely not. I back Australia before anyone else in football, but then Netherlands for sure. All right, rugby league, folks. Those jerseys look great. I will say this about the jerseys. To those with slightly less flattering physiques than you'd ideally want playing first grade rugby league, and there's a few in the NRL. You know, may he who is an Adonis cast the first stone. I'm not at that level, but it is the case. They do accentuate things more than a dark jersey does. I saw the picture of Cody Walker modeling it. I was like, oh, all right. All right, maybe it's a good thing Latrell's not available for today's game. Anyway, I think there'd have been some social media posts about that. Why wouldn't they make the South scoreboard white? They really should have. That seems poor. They made the Brisbane one black, didn't they? Hello, SC Skipper. Good to see you back. Always good to hear your contributions. Payne Carrigan, not to be confused with Patrick Haas. I did nearly say that. Look, I caught myself, and I think that's something I have the right to do. But yeah, not my finest moment. My camera seems to be slightly more blurry than usual. I'm just gonna. I don't know. I might be tripping, but it looks like it's slightly unfocused, and it's annoying me. All right, here comes South Sydney. They're going to line up, I think, alongside Brisbane rather than running out individually. Yeah, there we go. Oh, Reynolds and Cody Walker. The old Haas partnership, obviously. They played a lot of games next to each other. I wonder if Walker is the 5'8" that Reynolds has played the most games next to. I would say he would be. But we'll see. Didn't realize it started early. Yes, it's not always the 8 p.m. Sometimes they do 7:50. I never really know why. I've just realized I'm going to get copyright claims for this stream, unfortunately. Because Spotify, instead of just playing through the playlist in order, has smart shuffled. That's annoying. Anyway, I don't really care. As long as it stays up, it's fine. Matt Galaxia says, I'm genuinely emotional. And why wouldn't you be? Why wouldn't you be? Sorry. There are... I spoke about accentuating certain features. Some of the shorts are... I mean... look. Or don't look, if that's the way you're inclined. But like... Anyway, I just want to make sure that the Sportshed TV goannas don't play in white shorts next year. That's... Yeah, anyway. Shout out to Jai Arrow. It's all about him, and as it should be. It's great to see as well that it's... I don't know if this is intentional, but it's against, obviously, Jai's former club in the Broncos. He played for the Titans as well, but... They're lining up to give a guard of honor to their number 23 for today, Jai Arrow. A properly brilliant forward in the modern era. Properly underrated player. Played Origins. Was always selected. And it's a reminder. It's a refreshing reminder. It can get anyone. Oh, there he is. He's he's not in a great state, Jai Arrow. He's getting very emotional about it. He's crying. This is this is cool. I'm not going to talk too much through this. He's emotional coming out, crying, and the crowd are obviously going to love every moment of this. Mute, bro? I'm not muted. I'm just not really talking. It's an emotional moment. I don't know about playing "Gimme Some Lovin'" by who does that song? Can't remember. It feels like an odd song choice, but anyway. Sorry, I'm nitpicking. Yeah, the bravery of it. We've seen a lot of bravery this week in the rugby league world, but this is huge. This is huge. Both clubs are going to be so incredibly up for this game. I want to highlight something, and I don't want to add to people's emotion, but you look at his child there. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's a son or a daughter or what have you, but obviously that's a child that will largely grow up without a father. That's the medical reality of it. When your life expectancy is 2 to 3 years, as all the players get around Jai. when that's the medical reality, it's a fact. That child will always have this footage as something that defined who their father was. When they see an entire crowd of people, indeed an entire rugby league world, honoring him in a moment like this, when they see all the teammates get around him like they just did there, just universal positivity about the kind of man that Jai Arrow is, and eventually, unfortunately, was. That's always going to be there. So it's incredibly important for the child as well, and I think that's important to acknowledge. I think Michael Ennis might be in tears. It's a rough thing to see. It is, of course, but it's also an incredibly beautiful thing to see. One of the things I love the most about humanity, and I've said this so much, is our ability to turn just the most terrible of circumstances into something beautiful, whether it be through humor or love or a moment like this. It's the most brilliant human quality. And we've displayed it brilliantly here. So really cool to see. There's the kickoff if you want to sync up with me. It feels weird to just go into normal commentary after that. But there is a game of rugby league to play here today, ladies and gentlemen. And I love the fact, I thought that the arrow on the back of the jersey, the name was just going to be for the warm-up jerseys, but it's not. Each of them has arrow on the back. That is so incredibly cool. I wonder, like, obviously they're incredibly dialed in professional athletes and all this stuff. But after a moment like that, how do you just, like, 15 seconds later, just get into your work and into your tackles? It's incredible that they're able to showcase that as well. That's very impressive. If there's anything about Arrow, he's a trooper through and through. Absolutely. You don't get to that level of first grade playing as a middle forward without being one of those. Kick from Reynolds there on the last. Jai Gray is going to be the man underneath it in the white headgear, and it's not too alien from the rest of his jersey. It doesn't stand out as much in this game as it normally does. First time watching synced up. I hope that it's a benefit to you, brother. I imagine it would be pretty difficult to watch this not synced up. Leaguie, would you rather have guaranteed Rabbitohs spoon Roosters minor prem next year, or have Mumbo number 6 be released sometime within the next decade? Mumbo number 6 for sure. I want to hear what they're all up to, every single one of those characters. Someone better do an archery celebration today. I was thinking that if I was a professional soccer player with the whole World Cup thing, my celebration would be, I love doing those ones. Love doing those ones. Kick from Ward on the last, near the halfway line. Obviously, every halfback that's come across at South Sydney since Reynolds left is being like, oh, the next Adam Reynolds. But you look at just kind of his build and even just his appearance, I see a lot of... you know what it's like? It's like if Adam Reynolds and Luke Keary had a kid. That would be Ashton Ward. That would be Ashton Ward. If you can, you should make the South numbers white. Fox wouldn't, and I'm angry. I can do that. Yes, I can do that. I was, right before starting the stream, I was like, oh, I could have made a different graphic for today. But, no, that's a good shout. That's a good shout. All right, so Lara Pitt confirms that the jerseys are going to be available to sell. I'm pretty sure, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Broncos jerseys from today as well are going to be auctioned off. So, that's really cool to see. Alex Johnston with a catch there. Oh, the timer's not up. Why's the time? Oh, I know why the timer's not up, because I didn't set up the timer. That's why. My bad. It's it'll fix itself now. If Adam Reynolds and Luke Keary had a kid, that would double the number of gay NRL players. That's a thought. I mean, I'm more talking the hypothetical, but yes, sure. Yes, no, very true. All right, right here from David Fafita. Oh, geez, nearly straight through. That's vintage. That's vintage David Fafita, the former Bronco, obviously. They get it out here to find Ashton Reynolds, Ashton Ward. Underneath that one, they don't go up to catch that, Brisbane. And Hayes Perham is the player who has to clean it up at the back. That was a frantic moment there for the reigning premiers. Watson says, honestly, I knew I would be emotional at the pregame, but I wasn't expecting rolling tears. It's a sign they did it well, isn't it? It's a sign they did it very well. And the gravity of that moment is not something that you can deny, of course. So, here we go. Played there by Verhoeven on the 20-meter line. Now to find Willison, who's moved around a lot in the forwards this season for the Broncos. I view him as just a middle. He's such a big body. I really view him as the successor to Payne Haas. Just get him working through the middle there. Reynolds kicks from the short side. It's gone to Jai Gray underneath that ball. But it's interesting. That's exactly what South Sydney did in their last set as well. Ashton Keary Reynolds Ward, I reckon. The team is supported in NRL and Queensland Cup. Toowoomba and Gold Coast are both terrible. Oh, the team you support in Queensland Cup and NRL are both terrible. That is tragic for you. I am very sorry to hear that you're a Gold Coast Titans enthusiast. Speaking of the Titans, another solid run there from David Fifita. He's not fully hit the ground running at South Sydney the way some expected. I didn't expect it to, and he has been out injured, so that checks out. Forward pass, it is Grant Atkins rules it. Lockie Hubner, he is tasked with a bit more ball playing than he's used to, playing in the 13 role today in place of Cameron Murray, but execution there was slightly off, unfortunately. Or was it the pass from Brandon Smith? No, my mistake. It was the pass from Brandon Smith, not Hubner's fault whatsoever. It was Brandon Smith there from dummy half. All good, George. See you later. Just saying they did all this for the jersey and AJ couldn't bother to get white knee tape. I wasn't going to mention it, but it stands out. It does stand out a little bit. But anyway, I don't think that stuff like that really occurs to them. He was thinking about preparing to play the Broncos this week, not necessarily his fashion choices. Would you rather Panthers get spoon or Rabbits get spoon? Rabbits get spoon. I always kind of like that. Although Panthers getting spoon would kind of feed generations, so... Karapani gets the ball over a Harbour Bridge pass. Did well there to step inside. Nice meters here from the Brisbane Broncos. Anderson finds Perham. Back to find Rogers running it through the middle. I've just cut my finger, by the way. That is incredibly annoying. Anyway. I'm surprised Hubner hasn't been considered for Queensland these past few years. He's that kind of player, isn't he? He feels like that kind of player that Queensland pick. I think he'll be there eventually. Maybe he's not Queensland eligible. I know he was a former Dolphin. Belmar Hampton, yeah, he'd be eligible then. Perham doesn't kick. He sort of shaped for it. Gave it to Adam Reynolds. Instead, it's going to go towards Ed Corsi. Knocked back there by the Broncos. I think South have knocked on here, have they? No, it's going to be knock on Brisbane first. So South Sydney play the ball. Did you have an exam today? I did. It was about litigation and dispute management. It was my final exam. And... look, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but as I was leaving the exam hall, I could hear my peers that study law here at ANU talking about how I might be the GOAT. Describing it, even though they couldn't see my paper, they were describing it as one of the greatest performances of all time. I locked in. What can I say? It was game day. It was exam season in full swing, and we got the job done on a absolutely comprehensive level. It was a Penrith Panthers 68-0 against the Tigers. Easy as you like, no stress, ticked all the boxes, bang, all good. Now I've got time to make YouTube videos, which is what I prefer doing anyway. Smith out of dummy half. He draws 6 more there. That's great work there from the experienced Brandon Smith. It's something that the Roosters wanted to build a game plan around when we signed him. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but it's still a very, very effective part of his game. Drop voice. It was the greatest exam. No, that's not good. Greatest exam in the history of exams, maybe ever. Lots of people were saying it. Believe me. Believe me, folks. Quite frankly, I don't think there's ever been a better exam than that. You see Chris Minns does a Trump impersonation? Oh, intercept Reynolds! Reynolds! Go, sir! Go, sir! I think he's going to get there. As you know, he slows down. Why did he slow down? Adam, you had it. You had it. Spread it left. It's not a try, by the way, despite what that soundboard says. Spread it. Spread it. Ball finds the ground. This is dreadful. Okay, they do well to pick it up in the end. Josh Rogers does get an offload back to find Hayes Barham. Oh, Age shall not weary them. Yeah, sorry, I was talking about Chris Minns. My Trump impersonation, although that was not my finest example of it, is so much better than his, and he gets to be on the radio for it. Devastating. All right, let's see what they can do here, Brisbane. Best chance they've had so far this game. Pakes to the left-hand side, goes through Rogers, now in the hands of Duffy. Perham finds Grant Anderson. Good tackle there from Tallis Duncan. Obviously playing out of position today, but a very, very capable centre. Karapani in a dummy half gives it to find Perham, now to find Tom Duffy. Does well there to drop underneath Chris and Ricky. I nearly said Corey Jensen. I'm like, no, he's not playing. Josh Rogers. Close. Doesn't get over. Gets the ball back. Now Pegs, I think, might have knocked it on there. We're going to have a ruling. Yes, it's going to be a penalty. I think. Sorry, not penalty, but it is going to be Brisbane ball knocked down by South Sydney. Just realised Fafita played at the same clubs as Arrow in the same order. That's true. And it's not like, okay, Broncos to Titans is a pretty common path. Oh, we're going to get a captain's challenge here. But Titans to South Sydney is not. So that's quite interesting. Adam Reynolds' run was absolute rugby league. I reckon he gets there if he didn't slow down. They might win this challenge here. So, it's all play on, all play on. Pace gets it. Yeah, I think Brandon Smith has attacked the arm. Yeah, correct challenge. Well done, Brandon Smith. And I want to congratulate as well. Who's our Sydney captain today? Cody. Cody for trusting Brandon Smith with a challenge this early. This early in the game. Reynolds with a trainer now. After the successful challenge. Thoughts on DCE playing 7 and captain? He's co-captain with Defahu White, but yeah, I mean, it makes sense. No Tedesco in the squad. He's, one of the most successful captains of the modern era, Daly Cherry Evans. And we know Sam Walker is the best 7 at the club. I'm surprised that we're playing Hugo Savala at 6 and then Reece Foley in the centers. Reece Foley is a 5'8". And while Savala's a better 5'8", at least Savala can, he's an established first-grade center. Penalty here to South Sydney. Given away by Grant Anderson. You know what I will say? One thing that is absolutely helping me kind of, not despise the Rabbitohs today is that they happen to be playing against probably my second least favorite team in the NRL. In fact, definitely. The only team I like seeing lose more than Rabbitohs is Broncos. So if they were playing, West Tigers, I don't think I could stomach that, but this is fine. Both Super League and World Cup is on at 5 a.m. tomorrow. Which one to watch? Split screen, brother. Split screen. Look, the World Cup, although it's going to have some brilliant moments, it is still soccer. So at the end of the day, for 99% of the time, nothing's really happening. Rugby League, however, on the other hand, not the case. So watch the Rugby League, and then when you hear the commentator in the World Cup, get excited. Watch that. Seems like you hate winners. Broncos, yes, being the Premiers. South Sydney? What? One comp in 50 years? I don't know about that. On the 4th here, Brandon Smith at a dummy half. Runs himself, gets a pass back to find Keon Kolowamatangi. He's now crabbing back the other direction, and it gets the ball carrying arm free, but eventually is wrapped up there. So this will be the last here for South. They go the short side through. Dave Fafita puts a kick in behind. Jai Gray was there. Tell you what, the big back rower with a little bit of flair to his game. Dave Fafita, instead of crashing into the line himself, put a kick in behind and got a result. It's going to be a goal line dropout. Leaguie, don't be jelly about Brisbane. I want to be very, very clear with you lot. Brisbane Broncos have been my second least favorite team for my lifetime. It has nothing to do with their success. In 2020 and 2021, I think it was those 2 years that they were absolutely dreadful. I was heaps happy. I remember I had a talk with my uncle, who at the time was feeling sorry for the Broncos. And I was like, stuff that. It's the Brisbane Broncos. This is hilarious. So, yeah. My big 3 of teams I hate are Dogs, Manly, and Broncos. There we go. So, as again, another, Broncos. Not hater. I wouldn't say I hate the Broncos, but maybe slightly dislike them more than anyone else. All right. Dummy half here is going to be Ewan Aitken, who's now firmly a forward. He was very much a centre back in the day. I remember Latrell Mitchell giving him a bath back when Aitken played for the Dragons and the Trolls at the Roosters. Smith to the right. Keon Kolomatangi has it now in the hands of Ward. Doug digs deep into the line and the ball comes backwards. I wonder if that's been touched by a Bronco. No, that won't be the ruling. It was a good tackle then eventually on Ward. So this will be the last here. They're at 20 meters out. Smith is in a dummy half. I'm going to go to the right-hand side to find Ward. Puts a kick up. It's going to be chased through by Ed Corsi. Goes up for it. Comes down with it and scores, I reckon. Ed Corsi, take that one off him. Try awarded. South Sydney get the first try of today's game. I'll wait because we might not have a frame available to the bunker showing him grounding the ball. We don't know. It might be in between frames. This is up in the air, folks. We never really know. But great jump from him. Both hands up in the air. The ball has come free. I don't think it's contacted Karapani after coming free, though. I think they both had it. Oh, he might have dropped it at the end there, though. I think they might actually... I was kind of joking, but I think they might take this off him for that last bit. We're going to have a look here. There's a bit... we'll have a look. Of course we'll have a look. There's a bit to look at here. Never seen you this happy for a Souths try. Yeah, I mean, as I said, it's against Broncos, so... no stress. There we go. Now I'm better focused. Yes, I knew there was something wrong. Yeah, now I'm in focus. So George Dragons fan says, thoughts on 27-0? What's your high score or low score? I saw your video. I've only tried it a few times. Lowest score was 4-20, but I only tried to go low once. High score, I think was 26-1, but try is confirmed, right? I want to see that put down there at the end. But anyway, there's two versions of it, and I think one's easier than the other, so I don't know. Hey, Leaguie, someone just redeemed a thing.
C_Phantom just redeemed change the background color. White. I know it's a shade, not a color, but I don't give a fuck. Fight me.
You didn't need to pick violence. I would have just done it. It's alright. We would have been chilling. But sure, I mean, if you want a scrap, I can give you a scrap. That's doable. That's achievable. Yeah, I'm okay with the contest in the air. That angle looks alright on the grounding. I'm not saying it shouldn't be a try. I would love to have seen another look, but I'm assuming that they've had a look. Anyway, what do you think is the most uncommon career path? I'd argue it's Dolphins to Sydney Uni with 0 transfers. This is because it simply can't happen. Well, okay. Yes. Uncommon, though, that could happen. I was going to say Roosters to Dolphins, but actually that has happened. Both ways. Tyrese Tate and Junior Tupou. It's got to be Dolphins to someone. There would be a club that someone has started at the Dolphins. Sorry, no one has started at the Dolphins and gone to that club. Or the other way around. No one from that club has signed with the Dolphins. Oh, straight through here, Jai Gray. He's got support either way. Gives it to AJ. Parham's all over him. Oh, I tell you what. Parham had a great opportunity there. He kind of bit the tackle a bit early. Went up high at first opportunity. But that tries awarded and they go bang, bang. Alex Johnson, he can find a try. He scored a couple in his career. At least about, 50. Jai Gray dummy straight through. That's poor defense there. Right on Adam Reynolds and then beautiful draw and pass. Parham had the speed. And he went really early trying to go the upper grab. I wonder if he'd taken a couple more steps at the rate at which he was catching him, then go the low tackle. He might have actually been able to stop that try, but it was beautiful work there. Jai Gray, the draw and pass, and Parham eventually, tackle technique wasn't up to it. Yes, Thrones, I did plan to do 27-0 at halftime. Someone said I have reason to suspect it's AI. I have made apps with Claude before, and they do look a lot like that. But I know, at least on one of them, I haven't asked whether it's the same one, because there's two versions that came out like within a day of each other. But one is made by the Cast Patrol, who are a group of content creators, and I know that they worked on it very hard and spent a lot of time on it. So I don't think they used AI personally, but I don't know for sure. I think there are only 2 former Dolphins players, which are Ewan Aitken and Lachlan Hubner. That would be very surprising, I would think. Because they've been around for a few years. No, Junior Tupou is a former Dolphin. Now I just think you're former Dolphins. Maybe there's not too many beyond Junior Tupou, though. Obviously, a lot of players went to the Dolphins and then retired. Please bring out the bow and arrow. They might. Not me. Josh Kerr? Yes, Josh Kerr would be correct as well. It would. There'll be a number of them next year as well. All right. Word on the street is I hacked the exam systems and made some bloke named Dylan Jugger get 100% on his exam today. It was an in-person written exam. And I get to every exam season here. Look, law is like a lot of writing, by the way, in an exam. I get to every exam season and I'm like, oh, I haven't like written a thing in like 6 months since the last exam season. As in like pen and paper writing down. So it's kind of a miracle that I can keep doing it. Max Fiene, yes, also correct. Edric Lee, well, he's not currently playing one though. Isako must be the only Dolphins to storm. Well, yeah, well that hasn't happened yet though. But yeah, it will happen. Mark Nichols, yeah, retired though. I think we're looking for currently playing ex-Dolphins. So we've already got a few, but not all of them. Or maybe not all of them. I don't know. Harrison Graham, yes, Harrison Graham, correct. Mason Teague as well. Went Dolphins to Knights. This is actually quite a lot. We started with way less than I expected, and now I'm actually like, damn, there's maybe a few more than I expected. All right, run there from Josh Rogers. So this will be the fourth. Brisbane, they really need to score next, I think. I think Souths are on an absolute tear. Steve Anthem says, my Maya Muslim, my Bagel Jewish, my Christian Dior, Knicks in 4. It's going to be Knicks in 5, probably. But yes, it goes hard. It goes very hard. Biggest comeback in NBA Finals history today. For them to get the win at Madison Square Garden. Very special. Very special. Oblix Chalfa, another one. Yes, correct. Of course, playing today as well. Oblix. All right, pass there from Keon Kalomatangi on. Oh, a bit of a wayward ball playing from Fafita to find Ed Corsi, but it ends up all right in the end. Force backwards there. Sean O'Sullivan's another one. Yeah, okay, there's heaps. There's actually heaps. Peter Holler, I'm not completely sure. I'll assume you're correct. But, yeah, there's a number of them we're realizing. Jesse Arthur's now with a run. Goes straight towards Ashton Reynolds, Kiri Ward. Brandon Smith is off the field there. He's calling the cameras away. That's pretty funny. Tackle there on the 40 is Grant Anderson, former, of course, Melbourne Storm player. It was funny. He sort of went Storm to Broncos in search for a little bit more first grade because obviously the wingers Mariner and Karapani aren't as established as Ward, Rick, and Coates. Then Coates got injured and spent the whole year out. If Anderson was at the Storm, he would have played every game this season, and I find that really unfortunate for him. But anyway, is what it is. Danny says, I'm a San Antonio fan. That is tragic for you. Yeah. One of the all-time great capitulations. Underneath this one's Ed Corsi. Oh, he's not got that cleanly. Broncos, I don't know if they have possession. I can see Ward having grounded it. It's going to be ruled knock on Broncos. I thought he was ruling knock on Brisbane, and then he says goal line dropout. Maybe he was ruling double knock on, and we only got the second part of the knock on. All right. What I will say, if Knicks win the series in 5, it will be incredible purely because of how classic every single game has been. That dropout, no one went for it, and they get a result there in the end. Jamie Humphries, well done. He's someone who is certainly helped by the white jersey and the fact that it shows off the physique you have. It keeps people honest. But yeah, every single game has really come down to the wire. So for them to ice 4 of them, 4 out of 5, would be incredible. Shout out Danhausen, carried the Knicks, evidently, but they're not home yet. They are not home yet. The New South Wales team, if Laurie Daly picked it without help. Fullback James Graham, on the wings Brian Ciani and Felice Kofusi, centers Casey Maguire and Katoni Feletti, 6 Isaac Moses, 7 Jet Cleary, 8 Collie Tass, 9 Reese Robinson, 10 Mitchell Moses, 11 Dean Young, 12 Dylan Chugri, let's go, 13 Sienna Yeo, 14 Cameron McInnes, 15 Ray Hadley, 16 Hamish Blake, 17 Apasai Tonka, 18 Ethan Sanders, 19 Mark Melicello and 20 Mikola Zielinski. Why? Why? What has Zielinski done to be part of this? That's hilarious. That is hilarious. All right, Humphreys, who's on at dummy half, gives it to find Ward. Puts it very high in the air. That had a heap of hang time. Underneath it, Tallis Duncan catches it. Offload back, ends up in the hands of Perham. All right. So, it's been a little bit set for set over the last 5 minutes or so. I don't think that's something Brisbane will be happy with. They're not really a grindy style side, especially without the likes of Carrigan and Haas in the team. Knock on there. That's the last thing they needed. They are the comeback kids, and you know, it's only 12 points to nil, and it's a quarter of the way into the game. But as a giveaway 6 again here, if South Sydney are able to get a try, get out to an 18-0 lead, damn. All right, here comes South. Run there from Humphreys, and Hubner's coming off the field here. So I think Brandon Smith is back on. Yes, he is. No, it's not. No, that's Cody Walker. My bad. He's not back on yet. They're going to bring someone on, though. Humphreys goes to the right-hand side, finding Ward. Cut out pass to find the winger of Ed Corsi, who's such a big physical body out there. Run from Cody Walker. Gets it to David Fifita, close to the line. He scores these, and he scores this one. As soon as he got that ball, you knew. Literally, as soon as he got that ball, he was going to score that try. South Sydney lead by 3 tries. And I get to play it. You know what? I'm giving that more volume because that was quiet. Fifita. And it's all the more appropriate given that Michael Ennis is commentating today. That's the Andrew Fifita. That's the David Fifita that we know and love. Fifita. Look at that. I remember there was a time, it was playing for the Titans. I was watching a game while playing FIFA. I was playing FIFA on my monitor and I had it on my laptop. And they had a penalty with like 12 seconds to go before halftime. They were about 15 meters out near the corner of the field. And I was like, forget getting the hooker or the half to tap it. Get Dave Fifita to tap it and just run into the line. And they won't stop him. And they got Dave Fifita to tap it. And they got him to just run into the line. And they didn't stop him. It's what he does. He has an absolute knack for it. And he's got the physicality to be able to achieve it. And he's got his South Sydney Rabbitohs up to a 16-0 lead. Kick to come now from Latrell Siegwald. The French Latrell Siegwald. Hits it. Oh, jeez, that was close. It was close. But they all count for the same. 18 points to nil. Brisbane Broncos, what the actual Halliburton are you doing? C Phantom says, I will admit I'm a bit upset Fifita didn't make the Queensland squad. We talk a lot about, in terms of origin selections, the players that the opposition don't want you to pick. I think Hamole Olakawatu is a player that Queenslanders don't want us to pick. David Fifita is that guy, in my opinion, for New South Wales. I am, even if you want to argue their output at the origin level, right? I wouldn't dispute that, say, Kurt Catewell at an origin level maybe produces better numbers than David Fifita. And you could show me every metric that shows that, right? But when I look at it, I would infinitely rather you pick Kurt Catewell than Dave Fifita. I'm comfortable with Kurt Catewell, and I am so uncomfortable with David Fifita. That's complete vibe, but it is still the case. So yeah, it is what it is. Hello XH, yeah, I'm doing very well. It's been a very interesting week to be me in the rugby league space, but no, it's been fun. I found myself saying if you don't use your platform, what's the point of having it? So yeah, good catch there from Hayes Perham up over the 20. Hello, Nothing Footy. Where is the NRL? On Channel 9 and Fox League. Not on me. I am not Channel 9 or Fox League. In the same week, both the NRL and SRL Rabbitohs... Oh, I was like, what's the SRL? And then I remembered. Scored 3 tries to open a game at Sydney Olympic Park against a Queensland team. There you go. It mirrors reality, doesn't it? The SRL. Why can't you show? Because I don't want to go to jail, sir. Please. It's a watchalong. Look at what a watchalong means. Anyway, go find someone else. All right. Catch there from Reynolds. Sorry, not Reynolds. Johnson. That's so weird. I saw him. I was like, yeah, that's South Sydney winger, Alex Johnson. And I was like, Reynolds. Sorry, I'm a bit off kilter, apparently. Jai Gray, now to find you and Aitken. If I do a face reveal stream at midnight on the 2nd of July, would you join? Yes. I would probably be awake. I tend to be awake at midnight, so yes, I would. Jai Gray now. Can't quite get an offload away to find Ward. Straight through there nearly, though, was Ward. And Latrell was up and about for it. Look at that. He's riding his South Sydney Rabbitohs there from the sideline. Leaguie, do you want my Queensland version of that last joke? Yeah, sure. Hit me with it. Pair him now. Up to the 20. I can't believe it's 18-0. I expected South Sydney to win this. And look, 18-0, as we know, is not the biggest of margins anyway in the modern game. But 61% of possession, you know. And it's going to be an error there. It's just not happening for the Broncos. It really, really isn't happening for them. My God. Hey, the League, did you create your own elements for your stream or download them and add scores? I created everything you're seeing on your screen except the chat, the view account that's up there. That's Streamlabs, as is the chat. The timer down there, one of my viewers made. But everything else is me. I made the scoreboard. I made the background. I made the lines, all that stuff. And even animations like this, I made. Like that stuff. I made all of this. I made the video in the background. Like all that. So, yes, that's... Oh, that's not the right game. Yes, that's all me. We have had a white background for way too long. Although it's nice. And in keeping, I got to keep the branding. Gotta keep the branding. Offload there to find Cody. Pass on now. You know what? Actually, I'm going to keep the white background. I'm going to keep the white background. I've changed my mind on that. I'm keeping the white background. Yeah, I'm changing.
Hey, Leaguie, someone just redeemed a thing.
Oh, well, there we go. It doesn't matter.
Lorenzo Theraborn just redeemed, changed the background color. White.
Unlucky. Well, you got what you want in the end anyway. On the 4th here, South Sydney there, right on the try line. Back to fight Cody. Cut out pass. The Charles Seagull gives it to Johnson. Try. Like shelling peas. They're finding it incredibly easy today. South Sydney up against the reigning premiers. They're putting the Brisbane Broncos to the sword and driving an arrow through their heart. South Sydney on the 4th try of this game. Wowzers. Mitchell, Cody Walker is able to do some pretty incredible things with ball in hand. That cut-out pass, even though it doesn't look the most spectacular, the execution of it is what creates that try. Gets Verhoeven in 2 different mindsets. Arthur's that has 2 players to cover. And does well to sort of get a bite at both of them, but ultimately doesn't have enough to stop the greatest try scorer of all time, Alex Johnston, from getting that one. 11 minutes left to go in the first half. And if they get the kick, they lead by 24. Refund me or I'll sue you. No. Sue me. I'd quite like the legal practice if you do. Here we go. Kalen. So this is the Queensland team. Kalen Taki Tibu Cook. Selkuk Komat. Robert Toko. Bert Tabuai. Jojo C was the first I know. 6 Cameron Smith, 7 Cody Walker, 8 Thomas Cat, 9 Harrison Graham, 10 Pawasa Farmers Hill. Is he Queensland eligible? 11 Cody Nicarima, 12 Luke Catewolf, 13 Ruben Porter, 14 John Plath, 15 Lindsay Lohan. Yes. 16 John Finianganofo, 17 Trent Waterhouse. No, it would still be Trent Loiero, you know this. 18 Joey Walsh, 19 Calvin Talangi, 20 Isaac Luke. That's very funny. Did you come up with these? That's great work from you. Leaguie, mate, what's your synopsis on the Raiders so far? Lackluster season. I don't make complete sense of it, right? I don't have anything to say on it that I think is going to be groundbreaking. However, last season, and I was saying this all throughout last year, was a massive overachievement. That's a great kick, by the way. It was a huge overachievement. people legitimately, with good reason, tipped them to win the spoon. I didn't, but I think I tipped them bottom 4. Like, so to have won the minor premiership was massive overs. Where they're at this year is not really, I wouldn't even describe it as necessarily lackluster. I'd say it's pretty much where they should be. I think if they had a season last year that was to expectations, this year would be like, yeah, they've maybe even improved a little. Obviously, losing Jamal Fogarty has proven to be a very big thing. Obviously, you look at players like Josh Papali'i, who aren't producing the output that they once were. Still, like, that's not their job anymore, and they're still very good players. But they're figuring out what they're doing. And I can speak to a lot of Raiders fans. I live in Canberra. Their project is not about this year. It's not about next year. It's not even really about the year after. This is a long-term thing to have a spine of Kyle Weeks, Ethan Strange, Ethan Sanders, Owen Paddy. And those are some of the most promising players in their positions in the world. That's what they're building. And they can legitimately build long-term premiership success around it if they want to. So I'm not that fussed. I know maybe if you're a Raiders fan, it can be painful week to week, but I'd be... at least outside looking in, I'm very optimistic about what the Raiders are doing. All right, so that's going to be a kick out on the full there from Cody Walker. I've always said he's a terrible player, never committed anything good on the rugby league field. Washed completely. Diddly Eastman says, I came up with it myself at 2 a.m. Thank you, Autism. Shout out my boy, Autism. Last year's top 4 are currently 11th to 14th. Yes, I saw Flaxy talking about that. Look, I understand that you can point to things like Penrith being at the top for so long to say that the salary cap isn't working. But there's a number of other stats that go the complete other way, and that's one of them. I think that's probably the clearest example you've ever seen of it. Anyway, Verhoeven now, drawing past Fine Arthurs. They fall over back inside. He sort of had a half opportunity there. They're going to go back towards the long side there. Reynolds has it on the 4th. Eventually finds an option in Duffy. Didn't pick any forwards there to drop underneath. Pakes. Oh, no, he didn't get it. The play the ball was bad from Tommy Duffy, unfortunately. They had space on the left, I reckon. There was space out there sort of in that center position, but couldn't quite execute it in the end. Great insights, mate. Thank you. No, I really like the Raiders. And so I do feel good about what they're doing. It's going to be a challenge here from Tom Duffy. Brad Fittler just called Jai J. Still not the worst thing he's called an NRL player this year. I would agree with that. However, you did just call him Brad Fiddler. As in like fiddles with things. Like Kitty Fiddler. So that's not too... I don't know if it was intentional, but that's not much worse than Chester the Molester. Not much better than Chester the Molester. Brandon says, did Walsh make the right decision by choosing to play game 2? He's playing interchange, and this game seems very pivotal for the Broncos. The day that we get players choosing to play for their club over playing State of Origin, I consider the Origin concept to be fundamentally changed forever. We obviously see it with the international game, and I've made content about how frustrating it is. I like to think Origin exists at a level above that. We cannot have a world where clubs are the paramount thing. Leaguie, you misnamed future Queensland legend Owen Paddy. What, by just calling him Owen Paddy? Yeah, my bad, homie. My bad. Yeah, but I did that on purpose. I've called him that since the Fox Sisters interview. Okay, that's not too bad. I assumed it was a typo. Kick there from Ashton Reynolds, Kiri Ward. Underneath it is Josiah Karapani. I wonder where Josiah Karapani ranks on the number of games played before winning a premiership rankings. I imagine that would have been around back when Brisbane won, because he came in towards the latter end of last year's season and was part of the grand final squad. You know what I mean? WTF says, I'm not here for the rugby league. I'm here for the Broncos fading. I mean, if it were to happen, I tell you what, MND might actually be cured today if they could put 50 on the Broncos. Legitimately. Hello, Just Burger. How you going? Why doesn't Dave Fafita, the largest forward on the field, simply eat the smaller forwards? Or, indeed, eat Jai Gray and just eat all of his teammates to become the South Sydney Rabbitoh and beat all the little Brisbane Broncos. He debuted in 24, to be fair. Really? I must be misremembering that. That makes it less impressive. Do you want to include preseason games or no? No, just first grade appearances. I just remember him not having played many games, but if he debuted in 2024, that's different. All right, execution there. Not great from South. Someone's knocked on. It's going to be Brisbane, so they are going to get a result here, South Sydney. Probably not deserved. Their pass was way out behind, but Verhoeven touches that ball, knocks it on. Who do you think will win, Jai Arrow or Brisbane Broncos? With the score at 24-0? Yeah, I mean, I tipped Rabbitohs before the game anyway, but, like, I ain't changing that now. So I'm not chatting much. I'm addicted to 27-0. That's all right. I think we all are. We all are. I think 24-0 is almost best case scenario for the Broncos before halftime. They are not getting down the end of the field that they need to. They just love to survive and not get up to 30. It's going to be 6 more there as well. The 2025 Grand Final was his 23rd game in first grade. My mistake. I've got that wrong then. I remembered him playing. I thought it was like 8 games or something. 23rd is like he'd be on a level with pretty much anyone playing in their debut season. So wouldn't be too impressive. All right, nearly a bit of a break there from Tallis Duncan. On the third, Brandon Smith picks it up. There's no markers. Runs about 15 meters. Feigned an offload. That's the fourth there. Jai Gray is in at dummy half now. Getting it to find Ward. Shoveled on by Humphries to find Cody Walker. Now in the hands of Latrell Siegwalt. Tackled there is Siegwalt. It's going to be Walker in at dummy half. Back to find Ward. Puts it up in the air. Trying to find Ed Corsi again. Corsi taps it back, gets it to Tallis Duncan, who nearly had to go there at the corner, but is tackled there on the last. Brilliant work there for the Brisbane Broncos. Scramble defense when game is well and truly on the line. Who's your favorite player? Connor Watson. Who are the Roosters playing? We're playing Dolphins tomorrow, but I really, really don't think that we're going to win that. It's funny, I have zero expectation of winning. I'll be pleasantly surprised if we do. But you look at the backs that the Dolphins have named compared to us. It's first grade and like very good first grade versus reserve grade. So yeah, I'm not really too fussed though if we lose. I don't think it says anything really about our season. Obviously, it would be very useful to get the 2 points, but I'm not going to be worried. Put it that way. Roosters might win. I mean, technically, it's possible, but I definitely don't expect to. Put it this way, I have never, maybe not never, but not for a very long time, cared so little about the Roosters playing in a week, because I'm like, we'll get through this week and move on. Thank you for following Jakia Bull. Much appreciated. Sorry, not Jakia, Jika Bull. Well, to be fair, the Dolphins have like 5 or something in Origin. Yeah, it's not that much of a difference in terms of the number of players out in Origin. We've got 7, they've got 5. It's more the quality of the depth that's come through. The Dolphins have incredible depth players, and we've got decent ones, but maybe they've just been able to cover those positions better. Walker is through the middle here. This will be the last here. It's going to be a retreating defensive line that they attack. Kaloma Tangi's at a dummy half. Gets it now to find, I think that was Brandon Smith, was it? Yeah, puts a beautiful kick in behind. It's bounced well, though, to find Ben Hunt. This is a good live stream. Thank you very much. I try and do my best. Mam's out there on the field as well to give the Broncos some attacking spark. Dolphins side is so much better than you. I agree. Yeah, I agree. It is. Which is not a position the Roosters often find themselves in. So we'll see. We had a couple games like that last year. Round 2 versus Panthers during the Origin period as well against Cronulla at the Central Coast that were like that. And we won both of those, but we'll see if we can, do it again tomorrow. As I say, it'd be great to get the 2 points in terms of our fight to get into the top 4, but I won't really care too much if we lose it. Reynolds puts it about 1 million miles out on the full.
Don't miss it. Don't miss it. I'm telling you, seriously. Shoelace! Shoelace, Reno!
Unfortunately, Reno had much bigger problems there than his shoelace. It was the entire boot that betrayed him that time, because that was massively over the sideline. South Sydney with a chance to strike. They've got a minute and a half here before halftime. Do you think Brandon Smith was a good player for the Roosters? I do. I think we tried to put together a game plan that was, if it worked, was going to be nearly unbeatable, but there was just too much going on. I don't think he was a bad player. Probably didn't hit the heights that we wanted, though. All right, Walker now. Let's find Latrell Seagull, tackled there on the 20. He was the hooker in the best attacking side of one of the seasons, so he has to have been good. You know what I mean? All right, Humphreys with a run up to the 10-meter line here. 57 seconds left. 2 tackles for South Sydney. Keon gets it to find Ward. They're going through the hands. Short ball to Dave Fafita wasn't the option, and the sideline is well and truly beckoning there. It's about a meter shy of it. Jesus, that was on. Tallis Duncan saying, who do I pass to? Eventually gets it to Ward. That ball hung in the air, though. Ward, under pressure, puts a chip over the top to find Cody. Offload. Humphreys. They're going to have 30. Ad-lib Rugby League. Off the cuff. Eyes up. The South Sydney Rabbitohs get 5. So, I want to make something clear. Tallis Duncan at dummy half didn't know what to do. He didn't know who to pass to. Eventually, he got it to Ward. The pass was terrible. It hung in the air. It went too far. Ward got it. I'm sure he would have wanted to kick across field, but all he had time to do was a little dinky chip over the top to find Cody Walker here. Walker plucks it out the air, draws a tackle, gets a beautiful offload to Humphreys. That is proper support play. That is being there. And assuming it is onside, because that's what they're looking at there, they'll have 30-0 at halftime. What's the opposite? It is confirmed as well. 30-0. What's the opposite of white line fever? Because that's what the Broncos have. I don't know, but it's white jersey fever right now for the South Sydney Rabbitohs. They are on fire. They're really playing for Jai. I mean, they're doing brilliantly. Look, I will say, I think that the Brisbane Broncos have been terrible. They've been really, really poor. But, yeah, I won't take away from what South Sydney have been able to put together. It's going to be Latrell Seagull to get them up to 3-0. 30 after 40 minutes. That is pretty much the perfect first half for the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Wow. Leaguie, I'm sorry my team made the Rabbitohs win. I probably wanted the Rabbitohs to beat you today. On today of all days, I'm happy about it. WTF says this Broncos team is going to be fed to Marky Mark in a couple of weeks. Well, we beat them once this season. It was a game of 2 halves. I hope that we can do it again next time we play them. We should have had 27-0 at halftime. That would have actually been very funny. Right now is not a good time to be a Brisbane fan, and I am big misery. I can agree with that, but you're the Premiers. Like, this is the thing. Obviously, you're not going to be happy, sitting through and watching that performance. And while this hypothetical doesn't exist, if you were given a hypothetical of win a premiership and then have 5 years of being absolutely dreadful, I think anyone takes that, especially the Broncos after not winning one for 20 years. This is year 1, and you might not be terrible for 5 years. You might not be terrible for 1 year. So you got to contextualize it as well. I'm going to Roosters game versus Broncos at Suncorp on 26th. Unfortunately, I will not be there. Just Burger, unfortunately, I will not be streaming when the Roosters are playing. Normally I do, but I'm going to be traveling tomorrow. All right. Worst premiership team ever? Wouldn't be ever, but in recent memory, they put together like a month and a half of really good footy, which is, if you do it at the right time, that can win you a premiership, evidently. But, yeah, it's not... They weren't a side that dominated throughout the year. There's a... Hang on, no, not 270, 27. We'll do the Cast Patrol version. I like the Cast Patrol version, maybe slightly more. We talk about, often when we get to the finals, we talk about, the sides who are, Jesus Christ, Alex Twal, oh my God. Look at his body. Is that his real body? That can't be his real body. Okay, no, they've added a bit to that. My bad. I didn't see the last shot. The last shot, obviously, but the second last one. You know what I will say? Fox, and specifically the Matty John show, have been using AI a lot lately in their animations, and that was one of them. They're using AI to generate their visuals, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Yeah, Lorenzo, obviously the last one was, but the ones before that, I thought looked a little bit more realistic. I really don't like that. What the hell? They are a cable television network. They are an incredibly well-funded show that are packed to the brim with sponsors, and they're using AI? Damn. Sorry, that's weird. All right. 27-0. We are trying to build the ultimate team that can go 27 wins, no losses. I've only done this a couple of times. The team will, of course, be called Amsterdam Cobras. Not Cobras. Amsterdam. I don't really know a lot of players from around this era, but we are going to go blind mode. I'm not really going to look at the chat because I don't know the ratings very well. Oh, hang on. This doesn't really... I might have to format this differently. Oh, no, that's perfect. Although I'm covering up the season, so I'm going to have to tell you the season. It's Sharks 2022. We have covered up ratings because I don't... I just want to trust my gut. It's got to be Nico Hines. He can play halfback or fullback. There are better halfbacks out there, though. I'm wondering if we can go a... McKinnon... Oh, Wade Graham probably wouldn't be 2022 that great. Maybe Brett Nicola, actually. I think I'm going to hold out for a better halfback than Nico. And instead go with Britta Nicola. Oh, he's 83. That's not ideal. But anyway. We got Sharks 1998. Andrew Eddinghausen. Bang. Easy as you like. Eddingshausen, sorry. We're playing him in the centers. I'm surprised he's only 87. He's better than that. Canberra Raiders 2022. Jackie Whiten in the centers stands out. Jared Croker does, but maybe not in 2022. Maybe just Tarpany. Maybe keep things simple. In fact, we can get Tarpany in a back row. I think I'd rather that. 86 is solid. No, lag man, the ratings aren't that year. It's prime. Really? Okay. Well, that's different then. Well, okay, I can test that here. James Graham 2020. Okay, it is. It is their prime. There we go. You learned something new. Well, that's a good pick anyway. Rabbitohs 2019. Probably take a Reynolds here. Maybe Cameron Murray actually in at lock. I think Cameron Murray probably locks. Oh, no, Sam Burgess. Sam Burgess. If it's prime, Sam Burgess. Yeah, for sure. Bang. Melbourne Storm 2001. Was Smith around then? Oh, Henry Parinara. Let's go. Can I pick him to referee the game? No. Smith or Slater. Okay, that's a reroll feature, right? Is there? Oh, no, that's the other one, I think. Matty Orford did win a Dally M. So I think it's got to be Matt Orford, even though Matt Gaia is good. I'm going to go Orford. 85? He won a Dally M. What do you mean his prime was 85? Okay, Tigers 2010, Benji. Yeah, Benji. Easy. This is not really taping up that well. Storm 2025. We still have Hooker available, so we can go with Grant. I think that's probably the play. Keep it simple. Oh, Coates on the wing. No. Go Grant. Go Grant. Yeah, for sure. Spin. Really bad? We're getting a lot better. Rabbitohs 2008. They were not good. They were not very good. Craig Wing at hooker would have been great. Asatasi, I know, was a very good player, so probably he's the play. Shannon Haggerty, not bad either. Back at the Roosters. Nathan Merritt maybe on the wing. I'm going to go with... who did I say? I said Roy Asatasi in at prop. That's a solid pick. Newcastle Knights 2012. We've just got outside backs. Probably a Dane Gagai. Oh, no, it wasn't around then. Oh, no, it was around then. Let's go. Or Darius. Yeah, over Dane Gagai. I'm taking Darius on the wing. Bang. Sydney Roosters 2013. Oh, I love this team so much. Roger did win a Dally M. Sonny Bill, though, if I could pick him in the centers, really? I mean, Minicello at fullback is very tempting, but if I could pick Sonny Bill in the centers, I'm picking Sonny Bill in the centers. That's a bit generous. Somehow won the premiership from 8th place with a record of 17 and 11. That is surprising. Raiders 2025. Oh no, it's Jed Stewart. Oh, this isn't what you want. Ugh. I mean, I think it's Kyo Weeks. And at fullback, or is it Savage on the wing? It's probably Savage on the wing. That's not good. But I think it's the best we could have done. Oh, we get Titans 2025. It's Keeney or it's Campbell. I'll pick Campbell. He's only 80? Really? That surprises me. Okay, this is not great. Prediction finished 3rd. Premier's chance 27%. Top 4 chance 76. Finals chance 96. Autoplay. Oh, we got a stack of wins, actually. This is going great. We finished 1st and got to the prelim final. I think that's probably the furthest I've ever got. But 20-7 is not great. Let's go again. How do I go again? Up here. Go again. Oh, no, it's Jed Stewart, the Leaguie and Jamin Salmon. Yes, and most Canberra Raiders fans, probably. I don't need to type it in every time, surely. No, Amsterdam. Cobras. Yeah, I'm still going to keep it blind mode. The other one has rerolls. Okay, now I know that it's just players' primes. That's more workable. Cowboys 1998. It is probably going to be Scott Prince in at number 6. Because there was not a lot going on back then. Oh, Ian Roberts. Shout out to him. I'm actually going to... Yeah, I'm going to look on my other screen. This is better. Yeah, it's going to be Prince. There's better 5/8 out there. But I think that's the best of a bad situation. Roosters 2026. Alrighty. I like this team as well. Tedesco fullback. Easy. Only 92. I would give him higher than that. I'd give him higher. Titans 2025. Oh dear. Dave Fafita was there. Probably going to pick Tino though. I think it has to be Tino. In at the front row. That's not bad. That's not bad. We've had an okay start. I'm not happy about Prince, but that was Cowboys 1998. That's not a good roll. Titans 2013 is in itself not ideal. Probably a Greg Bird or a Nate Miles is the play here. Who else we got? Yeah, it's slim pickings. It's slim pickings. I think I'm going to go with Greg Bird in the back row. Only an 84. Should have picked Cleese Haas. It would have been really funny, actually. Cowboys 05. Was Thurston there yet? I don't think so. He was. Let's go. That's changed things. That has changed things. Broncos 04. We could have gone Lockyer. Well, I mean, it was, yeah. That would have been brilliant. But unfortunately, that was the pick to do. And we still got some good players here. Webkey, Tallis, Hodges. I'm looking at Webkey, I think is the one. Oh, Petro was very good. I think Webkey, though. Corey Parker was good, but Webkey. Yeah. CFAD wanted me to pick Matt Bowen over Thurston. Apparently, this is the worst halftime deficit in Broncos history. That's insane. What? Really? Even in their wooden spoon era? Bracey said Game 2 will be the biggest rugby league crowd we've ever had. Clearly doesn't know about the 1999 NRL Grand Final. They had a crowd of 108,000 at the new Olympic Stadium. Clearly not. Even I know about that. Dogs 2020. Jaden Ockenball's the play here, right? This is one of the all-time terrible teams, by the way. Probably have to pick Kerrod Holland after the video that I made the other day, though, right? I think it has to be. Look, Josh Jackson's prime would be better than any of them. Reynolds at hooker? Hopawati at center. He had a very good prime. Probably the play is Josh Jackson, but it would be so funny to pick Kerrod Holland. Now, I'll do one like that's the worst one after this, but in the back row, Josh Jackson's a good player. Eels 2026. Why? Why? We have the halves. We've got enough halves. All right, we're chilling. DeBellin at lock. I guess. No, Fox on the wing. Fox on the wing for sure. Yeah, bang. Okay, that's good. That's fixed it. Tigers 05. No, you know what this game has done? It gave me, like, the worst team ever to start with. Cowboys 1998. And then it's like, here, now have a Darren Lockyer who couldn't pick. Now have a Benji Marshall who couldn't pick. We are going to pick Robbie Farah at hooker, at least. But it could have been Benjamin. Roosters 2020. That wasn't our best time over that either. Although we were premiers. Jennings did not play for us in 2020. If it's primed, Brett Morris then, right? Or Cordner at lock. Cordner should be available as a lock. Copley also did not play for us until 2021. Yeah, it's got to be BMOs, right? On the wing. I think that's the plan. Oh, they're going to come out again. Damn, I've got to go quicker. Dolphins 2024. Lahama in at the centers. Bang. Not bad. Oh, I could have picked Herbie. I just went straight to Hammer. 2019. We're looking for a lock. Paul Gallen. Yes. Roosters 04 centers. Oh, Hodges. Yes. Okay, this is going to be good. Wait, where is he? Yes. That's good. Predicted finish is only third? Really? Damn, okay. Well, they're running out, but let's go. Oh, 3-game losing streak. This is looking a lot worse than last time. We finished first 17-10. What? I'm sorry. This team went 17-10. What? That's outrageous. 88 overall. Anyway. Astaghfirullah. I'm crashing out. Anyway, it is what it is. Whatever. I don't know what... Sorry, I don't care what kind of team I am. If I get Keith Galloway as an option, I am taking it. I will, after full time. So someone please remind me if I start doing my outro. Say, no, stop. I will try and get the worst team possible again. Because that was really fun. This game is fundamentally stupid. Going 27-10, yeah. This game is fundamentally stupid. Right, 17-10. On 27-0, I tried to make the most mid-team ever, as in every single player is 80 rated. I accomplished that and somehow won the premiership. That's pretty amusing. That is pretty amusing. Yeah, Galloway's a good pick. Galloway's a good pick, but I want to go the meme players. I want to pick. Is saying Jay Nonkable was a meme player maybe not okay given what he did? It wasn't funny, was it? But like. The Karen Hollands of the world. I want to go those guys. You're non-nonsense. Let's put it that way. Cannot wait for Brisbane to lose 60-0. I don't expect that will happen. We tend to see... Like, sometimes we get it, but way more often than not. If a side goes into halftime with a massive lead, the second half will be either balanced or still the same way, but less so. That's what we tend to get. Leaguie, help me. I'm so addicted to this 27-0. Some of you might be too young to have really experienced this. It was only a few years ago, but this is what the NRL grid once was. Like, it is all anyone spoke about. Every content creator. Thank you, 727, for following on Twitch. Every single content creator was doing that day's NRL grid. Like, that's, for a solid month or so, that's what it was. It just, one day, like, really quite suddenly dropped off a cliff. And, like, people decided to not care anymore. To this point where you only get a couple hundred people playing it each day. Lorenzo, you're testing me, buddy. You're testing me, buddy. You really are. You really, quite frankly, you really are testing me, buddy. But yeah, so I hope that this doesn't go the same direction as that. I hope that it becomes a really cool thing that we frequently do. The worst I managed to get is 3-21. On the other one, I did get 0-27. Yes, I think it's easier on the other one, seemingly, but I don't know. Damon Burgess in the chat says, muting Vossi for the first time and getting the Leaguie on the whole half. Well, that's hella pressure, brother. I don't know if I'm going to be able to live up to that, but I will do my absolute utmost. Well, and as you would say, Damon Burgess, shout out to him.
I hate Souths as much as the next bloke. There was no way. They were losing this game of all games.
Well, I am the next bloke. I hate Souths as much as you do. But no, even I, like, yes, it's probably helped by the fact they're playing Brisbane, and I don't really like Brisbane, but even I was like, yeah, I want them to win this. Seeing them be so up for it is brilliant. Broncos, though, as I said before half time, were terrible. That's a good start for them, though. They've just got Tallis Duncan over the sideline there on the halfway line. So that's going to be good territory for them if they can hold the ball throughout this set. But that's really what they didn't do throughout that entire first half. It's, yeah, it was a good tackle in the end. It was really close. He nearly managed to stay in field there. It was just sort of a stray elbow that got him over there. But, yeah, eventually sort of rolled over. I had Thurston and Johns and went 18-8. Well, who was the rest of your team? I mean, still, like, that's diabolical, but who was the rest of your team? There's an element of randomness in it, though, where, like, picking the best players will give you the best odds of winning, but it won't guarantee anything. So, all right, Pakes in a dummy half, going to the left-hand side. Now through Mam, underneath finds a charging Brendan Piakura, who once again, every time I see him in his blonde hair, I'm like, oh, that's Jack Gajewski. Even though Gajewski isn't blonde. But I guess it just, I don't know, it looks kind of brown on him. Ricky then with a run. With his headgear looking like one of the South jerseys. Pakes to the left, gets it to Reynolds, now on to find Hunt. Short ball, beautiful work to find Willison through the middle. They're looking a lot better now than they were in the first half. Hunt finds Mam. There's space back through the middle. Steps on a dime where Nathan Cleary stepped in 2023 to beat Mam in that grand final. Unfortunately, he can't do what his counterpart Nathan did. And they die with the ball there. Thank you for the follow. Leaguie's foreign. What? It's not that bad, is it? My mother and her family have like the most tremendously big foreheads. I kind of managed to avoid it for the large part. It can't be that bad, can it? It can't be. Tiger says, thoughts on me watching you in the bath? I tend not to think much about you in the bath, brother. That would be a little problematic for me to do so. Anyway, now in the hands of Cody Walker with a nice pass out to find Latrell Seagull. Going the short side there. Banging for a penalty there is Cody. Smith. Oh, dummies one way, goes the other. Good run there from him as if he can stay in field. And it's really close, and in fact, it's worse than close. He is out. Phil Henderson, who follows me on Instagram, has ruled it. So, back-to-back sets that South Sydney give the ball away around that sort of midfield area for going over the sideline. It wasn't a bad idea from Brandon Smith, but he just slid. He just slid, and yeah, there were legs everywhere over the sideline, unfortunately, for the hooker. Who takes baths sitting in your own filth? It can be relaxing. I'm a shower enthusiast. Don't get me wrong. I'm team shower for sure. But a shower is functional, gets the job done, efficient. You're out, you're on with your day. But if I'm fundamentally like clean and I want to
Leaguie,
sit in the bath and read a book, that's what I do.
C_Phantom just redeemed Pepsi Max sip.
Brother, you know the way to my heart. Where's my bottle? Where did I put it? I just threw it over there. I didn't do the donk on my head thing. Beautiful bicep for Karapani. That wasn't a sip, by the way. I just had to commentate that. Ah, there's your sip. All right, on the fourth. Man with it. I'm going to do the Pepsi Max thing later. Reynolds. Oh, that was nearly intercepted there by Cody Walker, but he reads the play defensively brilliantly. Gets a tackle on Hayes Perrin. On the last here, Reynolds puts kicking behind, and it's been knocked back there by Cody. And he takes it well.
Smart guy just redeemed, changed the background color. Bronco maroon to manifest a comeback FR.
Well, okay, Mr. I mean, I need to do it. I'm obligated to do it. But Mr. Smart Guy Tech, he wants me to put on the colors of his Brisbane Broncos rather than Jai Gray's white color. Guess it's confirmed. Smart Guy hates motor neurone disease patients. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. He subjected us all to this. Nope, that's not the right way. There we go, I'm more centered. Every single time on stream, I finish my bottle of Pepsi Max. I don't know why I do this, but I just started doing it one day and now it's tradition. I do this. For some reason, I didn't do that today. That was a better throw than usual. All right, Tallis Duncan is breaking away from tackles left, right, and center here. Eventually, it takes 3 of them to wrap him up. He'll play Origin one day. He will so play Origin one day. Kick from Ward. High up in the air. Underneath it is going to be Perham. In fact, it's not. That's my mistake. No, it is Perham. I was like, that's Param. And I was like, no, that's Karapani. And then they call it as Param. I don't know ball. I'm sorry. I apologize. That's completely my bad. It's completely my bad. I agree with the chat absolutely booing Smart Guy for this. I agree. It's frankly disgraceful that he feels that it's more important for us to support his Broncos than this. Change it back to white. Okay, he said it. He said it. On the fourth here, Tolty with a run. You know what? I think over the course of modern rugby league history, we've had a lot of people's champions. I'm talking your Tommy Hazeltons. I'm talking your Kerrod Hollands. I'm talking your Kurt Baptistes. You know, those kinds of operators. I reckon Ben Tolty is a people's champion in that very same sense. It's just, he's so Ben Tolty. He is just a Ben Tolty. He looks like a Ben Tolty. And he just goes randomly at 2 billion miles an hour. It's brilliant. I love to see it. Love to see it. No, we got the white background. That's okay. We're back. We're back. All right, played there. About 35 out from their own line. Humphreys gets it on to find Walker. Now in the hands of Latrell Seagull. He breaks through. He's nearly clear. Can't quite get away from the veteran, though. Adam Reynolds had Johnson outside him, but couldn't find the winger, unfortunately. Jai Gray picks it up from dummy half. Gets it to find Cody Walker. Will take a tackle there about 40 out. He crawls forward, gets about 5 more meters, and he is called back there by Grant Atkins. A bit greedy there, and they could have had a quick play of the ball. Instead, it's going to be slow as anything. They get it to Ashton, Ward, Reynolds, Kira. He puts it up in the air. Underneath is going to be... Oh, it was Humphreys who went up for it. It might have come back off his head. It's going to be a penalty to South Sydney. Take the two. Get it out. Look, I know it's 5 tries, converted tries. I know. But make it 6. Get it to 6 scores. That's what you want to do. It was ruled to come off Broncos and then be caught by Reynolds in an offside position. I wouldn't actually take the 2 here, by the way. WTF says, just got 6 90 pluses, including Cam Smith, Matty Johns, and Payne Haas in 27-0 and finished with 15-9 record. Hang on, did you mean Matty Johns? It's Matty Johns 90 plus.
David boy, I just redeemed Pepsi Max Sip.
All right, that's a new name. I think that's the first redemption we've got from him. South Sydney trying to score their 6th try here. Fafita can't get over the line that time. From close range. Willison, probably the only player on the field big enough to contain him at point-blank range. Andrew Johns, yeah, I thought so. You did say Matty, but I thought so. Alrighty. Smith now, on to find Humphreys. Opinion on the new Lego Batman being $110 and Lego Star Wars being $60, making Star Wars the better franchise. Star Wars is not the better franchise. Although Batman's not one franchise, really. It's a lot of different ones. But I really want to play that game. Maybe not for $110, though. I'm not new, been here for years. I haven't streamed for years, but, well, actually, maybe 2 years, technically. No, I think it might be the first time you've redeemed something, though. But thank you for being here for years. I appreciate that. On the last here, Ward, it's all been frantic on this last play. Ward puts a kick in behind. Arthurs is there for it and gets it beautifully there. Thank you, Jake, for cheering 25 bits. Much appreciated. I'm so glad that sound's working, by the way. Someone just went 27-0 on Cast Patrol. It's like the last golden ticket being found, deflated. It's been done. It took a day. I mean, yeah, I can understand why that would be deflating. Obviously, we still will want to do it for ourselves, but yeah, there we go. Big news. No, trust, it's so worth it. $110 is like pocket change compared to the absolute peakness of Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. I value certainly your assessment of it. The reason why, for me, it's a big block is I haven't paid for a video game for a very long time. Consciously, I play Xbox and I have Xbox Game Pass. So I'm kind of like, it will probably be available on Xbox Game Pass one day. Most Lego, well, a lot of Lego games are. So I'm kind of holding out for that. But might be, it's like, is it worth spending $110 to play it now? Or potentially paying it for free later? If you know what I mean. All right, South's a little bit under the cosh here. It's the 3rd tackle. They're only up to the 20. Jai Gray now. He's about an 8-meter run there from the diminutive little fullback. There's a run. Is that a debutant? Yes, it is. John Raddle or Riddell. I'm going to... Voss said Raddle. But as that kick just... Oh, no, it was just out. I was going to say it just stays in. I've had 3 kicks out on the fall here by 3 different halves. Tom Duffy, the only player Is he still on the field? No, he's not. He's come off. So Ezra Mam, the only position in the halves to have not kicked it down the full today. But yeah, I immediately was like, I don't think I've seen that person's head before. So debutant John Riddell, let's go. I want to find out a little bit more about him. He's born in Taroom, Queensland. Nickname is Johnny. Classic nickname for a John. Let's go. Age 23. He is a prop. He's a little bit lanky for a prop, but he is playing around the middle. He looks more like... honestly, if you told me he was a center, I'd believe you. But he's certainly got the size for it, in terms of height and all that stuff. Good offload there. Now in the hands of Reynolds. On the second here, they're about 25 out the Brisbane Broncos. Hunt finds Mam. Steps beautifully himself. Has a bit of space in behind. Is tackled again. Mam looking good coming on the field today. Hunt gets it out to find Anderson. Short side, bang. Easy as you like. Karapani just found that space. It was easy for him. They didn't really get much of a contest on it, the South Sydney Rabbitohs. And the Broncos get their first of today's game. Quite often I see wingers with that kind of space available to them, and they tend to kind of stand up a little bit, go for a dive or whatever, or try and get over the goal and then ground it. It always amazes me that wingers don't do that more often, and just, see, there's the line, that's what I need to ground it on. Not the in-goal area, nothing like that, just the line, just let me go immediately for that. There was space. Corsi didn't really trust his inside man enough there, and I know it's tough near the line. Obviously, you've got to stack near the hooker, but it allowed for the space to be out there, and Brisbane pounce. When is your law degree giveaway? I don't think that you can give away a degree like that. I don't even have a law degree yet, though, so let me have it for a bit first, and then I'll consider giving it to one of yous. It's a really dark joke from WTF, but he says, that's it. Triple the burden Euro disease. It's MND versus anti... Well, sorry, the anti-MND versus MND. Is that what we're presenting it as? 30 points to 6. Great kick there from Reynolds. No, that is funny. Full-time score, 30-31 with Antonio Verhoeven field goal incoming. My Dutch pride would actually be so fundamentally through the roof that I would start singing the national anthem, Wilhelmus van Oranje, in, like, just the most, like, passionate, patriotic tone you could possibly imagine. Would you trade your law degree for UFC Zinger Box? From KFC Canberra Centre, yes. They're pretty banging. Most KFCs, no. Certainly not the one in Menai, my hometown in Sydney. Knock on there from Pia Kura. How often do you hear good coaches talking about the importance of a set post points, especially when you're coming back into a game? It's everything. You've just got your first little bit of momentum of the entire match. The thing you've got to do, one rule. You don't need to score. One rule, get to your kick. That's it. Get into the grind of it. You're naturally a little bit on top after you've got to try. That's what you got to do. Instead, they knock it on 20 meters out from their own line, and the momentum that they just got through the Karapani try could be completely gone in South score here. Frankly, it's already pretty much gone given that Souths are in attacking ball. That's a pretty unforgivable error. That was beyond horizontal. That should have been a penalty. That should have been a penalty. John Rattle is a Queenslander. He is. He was, well, at least born there. All right. Rattle now, hitting it up. In fact, it's not. It's LeBlanc. It's Liam LeBlanc. He must... I don't think he is, but... It's such a French name. I think we spoke about this before, and he was one generation off being able to represent France. What a put down from Corsi if he's got this. He's not claiming it. It looks spectacular. It looks spectacular, but I don't know. Okay, we're looking at it a bit here. Shoulder charge on the way in. That might lead to a penalty try, actually. It was Ezra Mam. It's not a shoulder charge. Yeah, he doesn't ground it. It was closer than I probably expected. I think that's just knock on over the in-goal 20-meter restart. Leaguie, I got GTA 5 yesterday, and it's a banger. It is probably my favorite game ever. I will be playing it on stream in like a couple weeks' time, in one sitting, which will be exciting, on the Leaguie Games channel. it's the thing is, it was ahead of its time and has aged well. Is it the best gameplay? No, especially compared to what's out there now. Is it the best story? No, I really like the story, but it's not the best story. But it's just the best open world game that was available at that time, and I really think it's aged very, very well. Leaguie hits a 27-0 ID. Turn the ratings off and just select the first person suggested in what you pull. Well, I always have ratings off, but that would be what? Just alphabetical order? Is that what it goes off? I can do that after trying to pick the worst team. I'll do a couple. I've got some stuff to do after this stream as well. I kind of need to celebrate my exams being over. Today's a really, really huge day for me. I guess it's relevant. It's relevant to you guys as fans of my content. And I hope none of my family are watching this. This semester, I really did, more so than ever before, put uni on the back burner to try and make some really good content and stream more than I ever have before. And I did those things, and there was a risk involved with doing that. I've got through an exam period that I haven't got the results of anything back, but I know that I have done really well on everything that I've done in this exam period. And I did not expect to. I expected maybe to scrape through. I made a decision to focus on content and really give that my full swing. So, it's a big moment in my content life as well. For that, you get another leg. Thank you, WTF. I appreciate you saying that. Here's a challenge. Try and get 8th. And hope it generates you to winning the grand final. I like the idea of trying to get 8th. I think maybe that's more interesting. I'll do the worst team, and then I'll try and get 8th, and then I'll go. Congratulations, Tiger, whose assessments also ended today. All right, on the third here, 25 minutes left in this game. It's going to be Pakes at dummy half, near the halfway line. They're going to the right-hand side. Hunts now to find Reynolds. Short ball to Jordan Ricky with the white headgear. A good little bit of post-contact meters from Big Ricky. 50-meter gain, gets it to Reynolds. Puts it up in the air. They need points very soon, Brisbane. If there's any chance of a miracle comeback, it's a day of miracle comebacks. We saw the Knicks come back from 29 down. Can we see the Broncos come back from 30? We'll see. But they are the comeback hits. But points need to come soon. We're already... I know there's 25 minutes left, but we are at that point where they need to be scoring points pretty much now. Well, we're at a point a minute. So, yeah. Damon says, congrats. So good to hear, mate. Proud of you. Thank you, Damon. It means a lot coming from you. I hope your exam went well as well. We want a fading. We need 20 more points. We kind of need Souths to go a point a minute as well. But I did say at halftime, right? You tend to see sides have like massively dominant first halves, and then it's a lot more balanced in the second. What happens is the team comes out starting very fast, and the others just aren't at the shops, and they can't get that momentum back. We live in such a momentum era of rugby league that teams can struggle to regain that if they don't come up with the same intensity as the other team. But then halftime allows that to just reset. It's momentum is gone. It's set. Square one again. And Brisbane have obviously acknowledged that and come out with a better intensity. The other side of that is psychologically, Souths know that this game is done. And so while they're still trying, they're not trying as hard as they were, to start the game. You know what I mean? All right. Oh, no, Reynolds is hurt here, potentially. He's feeling the back of his leg there. They recover the ball there through Verhoeven, but it's going to be a changeover. Reynolds is limping. He's limping heavily. I said earlier in this game, our age shall not weary them, but the halfback's looking a little weary at the moment. The former Rabbitoh, we know he's been a bit injury prone towards the back end of his career. He's struggled particularly with those leg injuries, but I hate to say it, far from the first time in recent years, Adam Reynolds is out there on the field and he cannot move. They're going back that way as well through Cody Walker. Good tackle there from Ben Hunt. Where is Reynolds right now? Is he showing a body in the defensive line? Not even. He's out there on the sting. He's out there on the peak and swing. Unfortunately. Totola with a run. Great post-contact meters from the front rower. So they get to the fifth without having tested Reynolds really that much. They are going to go that side, but oh, brilliant slips catch from Verhoeven. We don't play a lot of cricket over in the Netherlands, but that was, I tell you what, that was one from the gully, that was. Yeah, Reynolds now with ball in hand. No! Oh my God, what? Can you believe what you've just seen? Can you believe what you've just seen? That is one of the most fundamentally stupid moments I've ever seen. Brisbane recovered the ball, went to pass to their front rower to take a hit up, and he was facing the other rugby league direction. He hit his back. I'm sorry. Well, look, I understand Reynolds, being down, big moment. Show us a replay, please. Please show us a replay. That is going in the NRL Rewind at the end of this season. You bet your rugby league bottom dollar, because that was fundamentally redonkulous. That was what? They can't make the change because they can't get Reynolds over to the other side? Really? Hang on, is Broncos ball? I guess Brisbane didn't play at the ball. Show us a replay. What? Okay, Atkins orders them to not contest that scrum. I really think this is terrible TV misdirection that we haven't seen a replay of that. That would have been so funny. And a penalty to compound that. So Brisbane back into the momentum of this game a little bit. Reynolds now officially off the field. Jeez. Look, I don't want to diagnose anything. And certainly Reynolds has come back from some pretty crazy injuries. But Broncos don't look like they're making the finals. They might. But losing this game is going to bring them to a record of 5-9. Very soon they're into a territory of like you need to win every game. If this is a decently long-term injury, we might have very little of Adam Reynolds left to see in the NRL. We'll see. Karapani now hitting it up. So that's going to be the second. They're maybe good for a try here, Brisbane. They're very good attacking ball. Duffy back on the field. Dummies goes himself. I wonder what the plan was for their halves and interchanging it throughout this game. But anyway, Anderson, he just gets it around the middle of the field, reaches out and scores. I think he's got there. Grant Anderson, is he playing 6? Okay, we're going to review it as a no try. He was playing 6 there. Let's see here. He's just reached out here. Oh, no, this looks a little bit short, actually. Yeah, he's short. He's short. Jeez, I thought he got there on first look, Yeah. Jeez, that would have been a big moment. Good play from Grant Anderson. It was absolutely on, but yikes. C-Fans says, BRS, get a spare leg to him ASAP. There are levels to that joke that are deep, that are divisive, and are controversial. But I actually, when I was talking earlier about disliking the Broncos, look, and yeah, and I feel that issue speaks for itself. Okay, I cannot believe you would have an alleged war criminal in your sheds after the game. But anyway.
That's why you get the big bucks.
Are you an Afghani rug salesman with the eye avatar?
There may be a reference there that I do not know. Penalty South Sydney. But no, and thank you for the $2. Oh, wait, no, you're just saying, am I... is this an AI avatar? Right, sorry, there's not a deep reference there. I will say this. I've seen a lot of videos lately on social media of, like, people, streamers, who, like, have these beauty filters over them, and then the filter comes down. Yeah, not ideal. Not ideal. But no, believe me, if I had some sort of beauty filter over me, it wouldn't end up looking like this. Respectfully to myself, this isn't exactly the peak of masculine appearance that you would possibly want. Obviously, like, I think if we had a situation that was more like Winston Neville, then I could understand that probably there's a beauty filter on that. But not this. Not this, Mark. Hell no. Hubner. Ball playing around the middle of the field. Dummies goes himself. Reverse Class says, I mean, you see Clarkey going on the defense for BRS in all the posts people made about it. I didn't see that, actually. I haven't seen his comments on it. Would be curious. I like Clarkey. I know Clarkey personally, but we would certainly disagree on that issue if he was defending it. Knocked back here by Cody Walker. No, it's going to be... In fact, I think it's going to be forward off Broncos. Yes. First knock on Willison, so it's going to be South Sydney ball. I know for a fact that Clarkey is ex-military. So I can understand if he has a vested interest in that, but we would certainly politically disagree on that issue. But as I say, I haven't seen any of his comments. Leaguie, your feed is so late. I got that a year ago. Well, see, smart guy, as someone who's watched my streams before, you would know that at every kickoff of both halves, I say, there's the kickoff so you can sync up with me. I'm already the issue. My feed's probably not really behind yours. But by the time it gets through my OBS, uploaded to YouTube, then through, or Twitch, and then through to you, yeah, there's a delay for sure. But anyway. Now you are peak masculinity. Oh, we'll see. Hard disagree. Walker. Now in the hands of Seagull, Johnson, bang, game over. I will say there's a difference between masculinity and masculine performance. I think masculinity is actions, and I take pride in my actions on that topic. But yeah, wowzers. Alex Johnson gets yet another fourth South Sydney. Easy as you like. He positions himself beautifully all the time. 34-6, potentially 36-6 if they can convert this kick. And any fleeting last hope of a Broncos comeback is surely dashed with that one. They're leading by 28. You are peak masculinity. Show the makeup photo. The makeup photo was pretty good. I don't think I have... I should really get like a digital copy of it so that I could just put it up on stream rather than getting my phone to do it. Hat-trick for Johnson, is it? It is. It sure is. Oh, yeah, wait. I always say this when it's a hat-trick. 3 of the best. He's made them pay, and that completes a wonderful hat-trick. Shout out to Martin Tyler. There you go. Peak masculinity, folks. Believe it or not, that's what it looks like. It does indeed look like that. All right. Latrell Seagull to keep his 100% kicking rate up. It's probably the trickiest one he's had all evening. Strikes it, starts it out right. Oh, and it curls back stunningly. I tell you what, he nearly missed one from almost right in front earlier in this game, and I thought, ugh, he might be a bit off tonight. He has not been. Has not been. Captain Ven Zero, I forgot there was a game tonight. They come at you thick and fast when you have had a Monday game, because we get so much into the rhythm of we have our game days and then 3 days break, and then our game days and then 3 days break. But we've only had 2 days break since the Monday game. So yeah, I can understand why. I can understand. Yeah, did Leaguie swear that one doesn't really work though, does it? Love it as always. Do you think Freddie Lussick is the winger the Bulldogs need to make that extra push into 11th? So he's a hooker. But he's an improvement on what they've currently got. He's a better hooker than Hayward. I think Hayward's a lock. And so that then allows him to shift Hayward to that position. He's not going to be a world beater, but we've seen a number of players go to top tier systems who are like, plotters, journeymen, go to top tier systems and come out a transformed guy. Lussick could be that. He's playing brilliant footy at Penrith. Brilliant footy. Yeah, Lorenzo. So Lorenzo made a graphic of me signing for the Roosters. It was very cool. I liked it. It was trippy to see. But yeah, it was fun. I liked it. I understand the point of having Arrow's name on the jerseys, but imagine a casual watcher tuning in for the first time, thinking every player's name is Arrow. Well, I said this on my Super League stream the other day. Penalty Broncos. The Super League referees, for as long as I can remember, have had a sponsor at the back of their jerseys where you would normally have a name that is Ron Seal. And my dad used to make this joke when I was a kid that every referee in the Super League's name was Ron Seal. And as a kid, I thought that was the single funniest thing I had heard in my life. Simply the notion of every referee being named Ron Seal blew my mind. Like, I guess it's the fact as well that Seal is a bit of a silly surname, like the animal and all that. It was like maybe the greatest thing of all time. And so I can't now watch the Super League without seeing Ron Seal as the referee. Like, and it's still the sponsor on the back of their jerseys. So similar kind of thing there. But no, in sincerity, I don't think that a new viewer would be really worth considering on an initiative like this. So yeah. All right, knock on there from Jack Krzyzewski, former Rabbitoh. Cowboys and Dragons as well, on his way to find himself at the Broncos. Ron Seal or Halftime Hooter? Oh, Halftime Hooter was very good. Shout out Deloise. Shout out. The star for Brisbane has been pretty poor tonight. I thought you were saying that sincerely, and I was like, are you watching this at the Star or something? But no, yes, that's the sponsor on the back of their jersey. All right, Jai Gray out to find Ed Coursey. There's 10 minutes left, but we're at a stage of this game now where we're just waiting until full time, realistically. We are. I could honestly just start playing 27-0 at this point, and it would probably be more entertaining than what we're going to see for the rest of this game. Souths may hit 40, though, and that gives me something to live for. That, well, not so much Souths hitting 40, but Broncos conceding 40. That would bring joy. Oh, Damien Cook's there. Damien Cook's there. Let's go. That's brilliant. You haven't denied the Afghani rug salesman allegations. That's because there's issues in terms of the terms of service on Twitch about spreading misinformation. So I couldn't deny it. Walking now. Puts kicking behind. Oh, brilliant catch there from Hayes Perham. Definitely a top 2 Hayes that's recently played NRL. Either him or Dunster. Dunster might have been a very good player if he hadn't got injured so much. Hide your Deuter and Deloise Hoiter. Oh, no. Oh, no. That is, yeah. I love that you and C-Fans have said that at the same time. All right. Now in the hands of Anderson. Takes the tackle there. Apparently our solution to losing Jai Arrow was to clone 19 of him. Well, it's worked for today's game. It's certainly worked for today's game. In a dummy half is Pakes. After a modest gain there from the Broncos, they give it to Tommy Duffy, who puts it... Very good kick in. That was long, but caught on the full there by Alex Johnson on the 20. Gets it up to about 40 out. Very good kick return there from AJ. Not necessarily the kind of thing that you see too much from him. So Haas is released from New South Wales camp to be able to watch this game. That's interesting. I mean, they're only up on the Central Coast. I guess it's not too far, is it? Daniel Mather says, remember me? Yes, your name is actually Phoenix. I remember you. Or Mather, sorry. All right. Broncos with it. This will be the 4th here. They're up to about 45 meters out. Sorry, Rabbitohs with it. They're up to about 45 meters out of the Broncos line. Stepping back in behind there. Jaden Sullivan straight through. Has support back inside. It's going to be found on debut. On debut. It's what you love to see on a very special day. A very special occasion. Up against the Brisbane Broncos, the Premiers, John Rattle. Let's go. The unlikely try from the front row, and he brings the Rabbitohs up to 40 on what has been a very special day. The run was arrow straight. The try was even better. 40 for the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Look at that. Beautifully executed through the middle, and Duffy couldn't complete the tackle. On debut, the front row. This is what he would have dreamt of last night. It's what it would have absolutely dreamt of. He wouldn't have thought it would come real, but it did. And boy, oh boy, did it. He looks so... He's not your big, traditional stocky front row forward. He's built more like a back rower, to be honest. But look at that support play through the middle. Gets it done. You know what? What a moment that is. There's a bit of absolute rugby league about that. There really is. He had them rattled. That he did. I would love to know if it's Rattle or Riddell. But Rossi has said Rattle, so... Brisbane are bottom 4 if Canberra win. And Canberra play Para, don't they? So that is that's winnable. That's very winnable. Kick from Latrell here. I'm going to start referring to Latrell Seawatt as Latrell and Latrell Mitchell as Mitchell. I think that's better. I think Latrell is more synonymous with Siegwald at this point than it is Mitchell. Honestly, what has Latrell Mitchell really achieved in our game that Latrell Siegwald hasn't? Please score 2 more tries to get Big Fitty. They've got the... Sorry, I just see it on the advertising hoarding. They've got the Rabbitoh logo running. I didn't realize that would unnerve me so much, but I guess I've only ever seen that logo as stationary. That is weird. That is so weird. So Broncos are yet to concede 50, right? It's very unlikely at this point. There's only 7 minutes left to go, but what's the most Broncos have conceded? They've conceded 40 to Para, 35 to Cowboys, 38 to Roosters, 42 to Warriors, so that's the highest, but not 50 yet. This is the equal highest that they've conceded all season long. And it was interesting, you know, last round against the Titans, they were a couple minutes away from winning that. Obviously, they were expected to win comfortably, so like that was the bare minimum expectation. But this will now be... Oh my god, wait, this is worse than I realized. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losses in a row. Duncan's through as well. Does he have enough support? Can't quite find it. Has to stay away from the sideline. Does well there. Gets an offload away eventually. Finds Satola. There should be space out wide here. Are they going to find it? Ward puts a kick in behind. Chased through by Bud Sullivan. He might have got there, you know. If he didn't, AJ might have. There's a bit to look at. And it's being given. Look, I'm not too hyped yet. I don't know. But AJ might have got 4. The reigning premiers, Brisbane Broncos, losing 6 games in a row. Now have conceded the highest amount that they have all season long if this try is awarded. And their defensive line is like Swiss cheese at the moment. Went to water as soon as Silas Duncan got that ball. Eventually got an offload away and they just kept going through the hands, kicking behind. Bud Sullivan, was he onside? I don't know. Has he knocked on there? I don't know. I think probably there's too much here to have all gone right, but we'll see. No, he's missed that completely, Bud Sullivan. And AJ, the man on the spot. Let's have a look here. This angle will show it. I don't think he's got there. 4 for Alex Johnston. Jeez, he can find a try, can't he? What a special day. What a special day. Alex Johnston has got focus. To those who don't know that joke, it is because Dylan Lucas scored 2. And I don't remember if I said it or if Did Leaguie Swear said it. I think Did Leaguie Swear said it. Dylan Lucas, he's got Tukas. And so now it just applies to everyone. Go for the 2-pointer. Latrell could hit it. Or Mitchell, sorry, could hit it. I don't know if Latrell Siegwald could hit it. I don't know if you've watched The Sopranos, but I'd love to see a video of which characters NRL players or coaches would be. Wayne Bennett would be Carmine Lupatazzi. Well, I've not seen The Sopranos, but I absolutely would agree that like when I picture Carmine Lupatazzi, I either picture Peter V'landys or Wayne. 48 of the King's finest rugby league points conceded. And Madge, oh my days. He was really praising his team in the press conference against the Titans. I remember watching it. After 5 consecutive losses, you know, you'd have a right to blow up a bit. But he was saying, this is a side putting in a lot of effort. The week was very good. We're doing the right things. This is now 6 in a row. And they were never anywhere near it today. They've been absolutely miles off. They have a bye next week, which is what you want after losing 6 in a row. Then they play the Roosters. Then they play Cronulla. Then they've got a bye. Then Panthers, Cowboys, Knights, Dolphins, Warriors. Those are all top 8 teams. Cowboys technically currently sit in 9th. But it's 3rd, 6th, 1st, 9th, 7th, 5th, 2nd. Then Raiders. They're not making the 8. They can't. Their draw from here on out is dreadful. Even beyond Warriors, Raiders in Canberra, Storm in Suncorp, which they always win, and they end with Bulldogs in the last round of the season, which at that point could well be a very desperate Bulldogs still trying to make the 8. Right, I'm putting a line through them almost. We can have John Rattle as a trial debut because we are stretching this thing out and I'm here for it. If there is anyone that can get behind absolute bottom barrel fundamentally unfunny humor when you have just beat that dead horse more than the Brisbane Broncos on a given Thursday night against the Rabbitohs, it's me. It is me. It's me. Jeez, the physicality there in the tackles. There's no need for them to be dominating tackles like that at this point in the game, but they dominated Verhoeven there. I bloody hope that they don't come out from the bye and just they're shut out of a cannon against the Roosters at Suncorp. That would suck. That would really, really suck. Anyway. Kick the Broncos out the comp. Bring back the Crushers. Yeah. I was going to say, bring back Rams or something, but no, South Queensland Crushers, bring him back. Bring Lockyer back? Oh, he'd do a job. You know he'd do a job. At the end of the day, he'd absolutely do a job. All right, they've got less than 3 minutes here to get 2 more points. Let's see if they can. I would love, get down that into the field, get a penalty, take the 2. I don't think they will, though. What inviting alleged war criminals into the sheds does to a rugby league team? Well, they were already on a losing streak before that, but yeah, if you believe in the rugby league juju, it wouldn't have been good. It wouldn't have been good. I don't think anyone's beating AJ's record in our lifetime. It's going to be very hard. If you ask me on the balance of probabilities, I would say yes. The game is going towards more tries. But it's going to be bloody hard. It's going to be very, very hard. Bring Kevy back. Madge has ruined his... Well, I won't say that. That's a bit sexist or whatever. But I know you're joking, obviously. Like I said, at halftime, to the Broncos fan, he said it's a tough time to be a Broncos fan. If you offered Broncos fans, here's the situation. You win a premiership, and then you are the worst team in the comp for 5 years. They would take it. I reckon, aside from maybe Panthers, honestly, maybe just Panthers, I reckon every fan base would take that. Still, maybe not. As a Roosters fan, I would take that. Would I? Yeah, I would take that. I would take that. But pretty much every fan base would take that. That's not even what they're looking at. They're looking at maybe 1 year of not making the 8. So, yeah, but it puts it into perspective. At the end of the day, they're the premiers, and over the last year, you'd much rather have been a Broncos fan than a Rabbitohs fan. Knock on there from Jai Gray, unfortunately. That will rule out 50. Broncos will end the game with possession. There's probably going to be fewer games per season in the future. Maybe. Possibly. But, I believe that's the kind of thing where, like, I know we're being sold that, and being sold, we'll get maybe conferences, we'll get, like, each team just playing the other teams once. But I will believe it when I see it. I think it's a good thing to say. We've got a captain's challenge here, by the way. But fundamentally, playing more games is what makes more money. So I don't know if we've necessarily peaked in the number of games that we're going to play. Whereas Matt Galaxy, always fine. He's a Tigers fan. I don't know if you've seen his latest video. He's a Tigers fan. What a game to honor Jai. Oh, mate. I don't know how much of their performance... there's a lot of factors here. I don't know how much of their performance is them just, playing well. Is Broncos playing terribly. Or South being just tremendously up for Jai Arrow. I don't know what influence each of those factors played. But it is so clear that way more than anyone would have expected, South Sydney were up for tonight. They were... Honestly, I don't know how many teams beat the Rabbitohs tonight, given how much intensity they have played with. They have played such a brilliant game of rugby league, honestly. So South Sydney, they won the challenge and got the ball back, but there's only 12 seconds left. They won't get to 50. But still, that is... When you look at paying tribute to a player and being proud of something, that's incredible. And I feel, I spoke at the start of the game when they had that ovation for Jai Arrow about the tragic reality of his child likely growing up without a father. And how this footage and this game and this stadium will mean so much to that child as a testament to who their father was. This result is going to be part of that testament. The child is going to know how much their father meant to the teammates at South Sydney, and I think the fact that they've put on such a dominated performance in his honor speaks absolute volumes and will genuinely ring throughout history for that family. So it's an incredible testament. They've done really brilliantly well. The South Sydney Rabbitohs, credit to them. And hey, you want to get ready to clip this up, but I am so happy to see the Rabbitohs put on a dominant victory tonight. I am. Why is one score in white and the other in green? Well, Teo, I will explain to you. We're about to hop on a call. I'll explain to you after. It's a long story, but yeah. A reason for the white background as well. I did promise I'd do a little bit of 27-0. I'll do 2 rounds. 2 rounds. One of trying to get the worst team possible and one trying to finish 8th. I think they're both very funny, so we're going to do them. Then I will have to unfortunately go. But stick around if you're keen on a little bit of this. We're going to go blind mode, and we're going to just try and get... do I try and... I'll do player overalls, actually. For trying to get the worst players, I'll get player overalls, because then I have less responsibility in picking out individuals and saying they were terrible. We'll go... So it's Parramatta Eels 2017. I could have got Jared Hayne. You know what? That's actually a banging start. Should we just try and go for it? Should we just try and get... When you can pick Hayne on the wing, stuff it. I'll do 3 rounds then. I'll do 3 rounds, because this is a great start. Oh, yes, I'm so glad I did that. Ratings being odd counts fundamentally for less, but still, I'm happy to see it. Power 2016, Raja on the wing. Hell yes. This is actually one of the greatest starts that anyone's ever had. Tommy, oh, I can't pick him in the centers. Would have loved to have picked him in the centers. Would have loved to have picked Ches at 5'8", but unfortunately can't. You pick Tommy at fullback still, but still, it would have been nice to see. So it's a Billy Moore. Chuck him in the back row. It's not the best of the picks, but it's all right. Para 2019. Yeah, Jennings in the centers. This is good. This is very good. Manly 2001. Come aboard, Beaver. This is looking special. Broncos 2016. Okay, so that when I saw Broncos, I got excited. I was like, that's lockier. It's not going to be. We could pick Thide in the front row or Parker at lock. I'll go Corey Parker at lock. I think there's probably more better front rowers than locks. Matt Cooper center. You know, you're taking 87. You're taking 87 still. Canterbury 06. Oh, Mason. Would have... Oh, if I... Oh, no. I was always going to go Billy Moore and Menzies. I would have said I would have loved back row there of Sonny Bill. But Mason at prop, that's fine. Roosters 04. Welcome aboard, Fred. Welcome aboard, Freddie. This is special. Okay. Knights 2021. Okay, well, that's a bit more down to earth. Unfortunately, it's going to be Frizz in the other front row spots. Again, I feel this counts for a little less because I did it with ratings on, but I was going to go the lowest. Ben Hunt at hooker. That might be one of the best teams I've put together yet. Team strength 89. Projected finish still only second. Premier's chance 44%. That's pretty bloody good. That's pretty bloody good. Oh, that's a lot of green. That's a lot of green. It never scrolls properly. 24-4. That equals my best ever. Oh, I think that's the first time I've won the premiership as well. Ladder finished first and got the premiership over the Roosters. What a grand final. Amsterdam Cobras versus the Roosters. Look at that. I only lost 3 games in the regular season. All right, anyway, that one doesn't count. It's my best ever, but it doesn't count. We're going to go the lowest possible. That was a practice run. Lowest possible. We're trying to get O. I feel I should probably pick Kane Evans. But anyway, Penny Terepo. And at lock. Balmain Tigers 1999. There's going to be some stinkers. Hayes Lauder. Always been more of a Nicky Lauder enthusiast regardless. Melbourne Storm 07. That's not going to be great. James Orbison, brother of Mitchell, in at hooker. Love it. Could have picked Cam Smith, but no. Penrith 2011. Junior Vaibai. All right, in the centers. I remember him. You basically cheated. I know. So, yeah, anyway. Yes, let's pick Joey. Jared O. Doherty in the back row. Welcome aboard, sir. Welcome aboard. New Zealand Warriors 09. Ukuma Ta'ai. I like the fact that we're just straight bronzes at the moment. 74 is higher than you'd like. Sisiwanga or... I thought it was Sisawanga. Anyway. Or Jamin Lowe. I'm going to go with... I think there's more worse props. So I'm going to go Wanga in the centers. South's 0-2. That's going to be some bad plays. Yes, there we go. Jovan Clark. South Sydney 0-2 was one of like the worst teams that we have seen in the modern era. Andrew Hinson on the wing, 72. Again, that's our second player in the 70s, but you take it. Heath Mason, yeah, chuck him in at fullback. Or 5'8". I'm going to chuck him at 5'8". We might actually like get this. This was good. Haas would have been nice. Tisa Rabadi, I'm glad I don't need to pick him. Keenan Palacia. It's going to be in the front row. Another 70. This is, I think, better than my team that I did in the video. Unfortunately. Oh, my goodness. Gavin Jeff Robson in a halfback. This is actually a decent team in terms of wanting it to be bad. Oh, no. We can only go fullback. It's got to be the bow and arrow. Oh, no. Oh, it's not gone well at all. It has not gone well at all. Matt Bowen's there. We've got a 0% chance of making the finals, but still, we're going to win heaps of games with Bowen in there. 11 and 15 is... We actually finished 8th. We made a semi-final. That's absurd, by the way. That's absurd that this side did that. I was trying to finish as low as I could. The next one I was going to try and finish 8th. But we've already finished 8th there, so I just got to pick that side, basically. I'm going to play again, but with player overalls off. I'm going to try and finish 8th. Even though that, like, picking that team, I would not have thought in a million years would get me 8th. Knights 2011. I'm going to say Zane Tedovano was, at his prime, a bit of a sort of 8th. No, you know what? Tyrone Roberts. I loved Tyrone Roberts. He could make the 8. He could make the 8. Absolutely. He's better than 77. Manly 04. The issue with ones like this is that I only know of the players that were good. So it's difficult. Like, I'll go Monahan. Yeah, like he's not Maisie's. Cowboys 07. Not going to go with Bowen. Not going to go with Webb. Got a... what's his name? They had a front rower. I don't know if it would have been at the Cowboys this early, though. That's a problem. Scott Bolton is who I was thinking of, but I don't think so. Scotty Minto. Hell yes. Get in, Scotty Minto. Change the eras to the ones you know. Well, yeah, but I think this makes it more challenging. Knights 2016. Okay, there were some mid players in this team. There were some very mid players in this team. Corbin Sims. It'd get you a solid 8th place, Corbin Sims. He would. Absolutely he would. South 05. Sutton's a good player. Too good. Mark Minicello, I reckon, is probably the go there. A little bit on the upper end of the scale, but I want sort of 75 to 85. I think that's sort of the range that we're looking for. A nice healthy mix of that kind of range. So George Illawarra 07. Was Jason Riles that good a player? I don't think he was. Leaguie Setu, yes. That's a bit lower than I expected Leaguie Setu to be. Sydney Roosters 2024. I don't care. I don't care if he's the best player ever. I'm picking Dominic Young. Only 81 is tragic, by the way. Only 81 is tragic. Raiders 88. Ben Kennedy, from memory, was good. Toddy Payton, yes. Yes, sir. Toddy Payton. We're getting 8th. We are so getting 8th. Isaac Luke would be too good. Ben Lowe, maybe? Bo Champion wasn't brilliant. Yeah, I think that's a good pick, Bo Champion. Raiders 2026. I know Savage was like 78. That's sort of roughly what we want. Let's pick Jaden Brayley at hooker. Yeah, that's good. You want a 79 there. Storm 05. English. Yes, no, we're not going English. We're now getting into a little bit of tricky territory. Slater at fullback would be beautiful. Matt King. Oh, he's better than I thought. He's a lot better than I thought. Anyway, it kind of compensates for Setu. Broncos 2022, Kobe Hetherington. He'll get you in the top 8. I didn't even need to look through it. Titans 2023, Brimo. Yes. This side is making 8th. Prediction finish 9th. I've done that well. I don't even really need to bother here. We are finishing in 8th position, and nothing that you say matters here. Oh, we're 14th. So, let me get this abundantly straight. I tried picking the worst team I could, and I finished 6 positions higher than when I tried to pick the most mid team I could. I'ma say it. This game is fundamentally stupid. Anyway, we will leave it there. I got things to do with my life, but well done to South Sydney Rabbitohs. That's been brilliant. You've been brilliant. You've been fun. The Roosters are playing tomorrow. I will not be streaming it. Unfortunately, I'm going to be traveling up to Sydney, but I will be streaming the games on Saturday and probably the game on Sunday as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to it or not. I will find out tomorrow. Anyway, I will leave it there. Thank you guys all for being here. Thank you all for hanging out. And as I let you go with the Rabbitohs theme song, I'll talk to you all later. Goodbye.
South Sydney, glory, glory to South Sydney, glory, glory to South Sydney, South Sydney marches on. When speaking of the champions, one stands above the rest. Glory's old and records proud when often put to test. A fine tradition's history that others cannot best. They wear the red and green. Glory, glory to South Sydney. Glory, glory to South Sydney. Glory, glory to South Sydney. South Sydney marches on. They mauled the Balmain Tigers, slew the dragons from St. George. The seagulls and the monkeys next were crushed with mighty force. They humbled Parramatta and the berries in due course. They wear the red and green. Glory, glory to South Sydney. Glory, glory to South Sydney. Glory, glory to South Sydney. South Sydney.